Hello, welcome back. So briefly go over what we were just discussing. You guys have refueled the ship. You're currently on New Home. We're gonna go over here to the galactic map, as it were, of the islands. You're here at New Home. You guys have gotten some funds together. You fueled the ship. You did a little bit of micro heroes. You did a nice whodunit investigation, and all in all, your reputation here at New Home is pretty solid. And you guys were about to start debating your next move, I believe.
We've been deputized. I like that.
Well, that was for the extent of the murder mystery. Since that's now concluded, you would have been you would have been undeputized at the end of that adventure.
Deputized.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah, we gotta.
Yeah.
It's gonna do me dirty.
But
Gotta put our armor and guns away now.
you also have you scored a ton of brownie points with the New Home law enforcement and security people. So like your reputation here is. I was just pointing it out because honestly, most of the places you have gone, Amontage, Katie, Colchis, your reputation started when you arrived in the system better than it ended when you left in most of those places. This has kind of gone the other way. You've really helped out the local authorities. You've been well behaved. You've done good deeds. Your entry into the system was arriving saying, "Look, we've saved this girl from pirates." So you've done rather well here. Since you guys are debating on the ship, we should probably move you to the ship, huh?
Yeah.
See if I can find the button that puts you on the ship. It's here somewhere. Yeah, found it. Alright, so you guys arrive back on the ship. A little bit of money in your pockets. Let's go around the table. Let's say that you guys are having a meal and you're going to discuss what your positions are as a crew with what you should do next. Let's start with Thodubs. How does Aiden feel about where we're at and what we should be doing?
I knew you were going to start with me. So I really enjoyed doing that mini-bot game. I thought that was a lot of fun. I thought that was pretty cool. I know that's pretty expensive, but I know we got some cash now, and I am good with continuing our journey. However, I know that I'm pretty sure that Captain, along with the other guys, would probably be very excited to do some more of that game that we were playing. But I'm kind of amenable. I have no problem doing the game or moving forward. But however, I think we probably do need to. If I'm going to pick something, probably move forward and progress in our adventures would be my guess. We can come back and do the bot game another time, but I would like to progress if possible.
Setup. We got the Boaz brothers chilling at a table in the corner. Yeah, like this. Okay, so you want to do bot games. Aiden has kind of he's been bit by the bug, and he thinks that, an adventure game within a game is the way to go. All right, Ghost. How does Taylor feel?
I'm trying to do some research on Sturgeon's Law. I hear that it's a pretty shitty place, to be honest. And New Home is so cool. I'm going to have trouble leaving. I might need to be convinced. This place is just so nice. But ultimately, we do have a goal, and I will begrudgingly say that we need to move on. But I do like New Home. It reminds me of my home planet. So if we can stay here... I mean, how long, Captain, how long can we stay?
We can stay indefinitely. It just may not be very good for us.
I think we'll be tracked down and killed if we stay here for very, very long.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, we definitely don't want to, stay too long. So people out there looking for us. So
You said that Taylor's doing research on Sturgeon's Law. Page 54 of book 2 of the Rift series that I sent you early on.
That's what I was trying to find.
That is the page you're looking for, and Taylor can be tapping through his tablet on the ship's library, reading pretty much any information that it includes there. Okay, let's go to the next person. Kizik, how does Luca feel about all of this?
Luca's gotten the like to buy and sell things bug, but he deep down remembers that we are spies and we've got a mission and we need to go finish our second task from the guy named Dexter that we're not sure if we trust or not. And even though he likes to try and buy and sell things and make the best thing, he's going to start trying to buy and sell information from people because he feels like that is probably a better spy thing to do.
Ooh, okay. That is a really interesting thing, and I want to ask a question, and you don't need to know the answer to it right this second, although if you do, that's great. What kind of information is Luca willing to sell? Because obviously you have access to some very sensitive information that it is your overall goal to collect. But if you sell that information to the wrong people and it becomes public knowledge, it may not become as valuable.
Luca's got a lot of thinking to do.
Yeah, it's a very interesting approach. It's also something that you're right, that could be very profitable. All right, Captain, you've heard all of the crew say their piece. What do you think?
I think I still got more members of the crew.
Okay. Which one do you want to start with?
We'll start with Ray.
We'll start with Ray. So, Ray might not necessarily have joined you for this, but let's just say for the sake of argument to avoid having to RP you go and get him, that he did mope his way out to the main dining area. Ray's been in kind of a funk since running into Madison Prisk. And he's been spending a lot of time in his quarters, and if you ask him, how does he feel? He'd be like, honestly, I just want to get back on the road. We're here to be a traveling ship, and you can't really make money and do the things you need to do if you're not traveling. So the best thing to do is to keep moving. He does not want to stay at New Home.
Roger. What about Junkrat?
Junkrat also would be occupied elsewhere. For the sake of argument, we'll say that, Ray moves off and Junkrat comes back in. And Junkrat trunks in and gets her little fly puree thing that she likes to eat for meals. And, you ask her about it, and she's like, I honestly, as long as there's salvage work to be had, which in a populated system like this, there always is, we could keep ourselves occupied here for quite some time. And the port facilities obviously are much, much better here. But it's not going to be as profitable as going out into the black is. But, you do what you want. As long as we got good stuff to work on, I don't see there being a problem. She's indifferent.
Roger. And Annika is the last one.
Oh, you're just going to skip right over or Homer.
Nope, Homer just wants to shoot guns.
Homer's not a real boy. So, Gigi is content either way. She will tell you that, your journey in life is not about how much mileage you cross. It's about the experience and the impact that you make along the way.
Very insightful. And Homer.
He just wants to shoot guns.
Yeah. This is why we like Homer.
Homer's just happy to be here. And he should be, because I had planned him when I originally scripted his character for him to last all of 15 minutes in game.
If I die, I'm coming back as Homer.
Right? That's not unprecedented in our campaigns now, is it?
Not at all.
Actually, one of my favorite Edge of the Empire characters you ever played was one you picked up as an NPC and said, I'm going to play that character. And I think it was a great move for that whole campaign.
Good time.
Well, as much as I enjoy playing games inside of a game where we could spend forever doing it, we do have a mission to do, and we do have ways to move forward here as we are a spaceship and we do have a mission. But I got the cool little tablet from Mercenary Land, and we have 2 different sets of jobs. Some escort jobs that can take us most of the way to where we're going, and we have a few other jobs that are just kind of, deliver some stuff here or there. So I tend to think escorting is probably a good idea. It pays like more money, but it's potentially dangerous, but it also means we don't necessarily have to stop at Sturgeon's Law or anything, because we're going to go to Sturgeon's Law and we're going to refuel via sucking up the fuel from the star and then keep moving while we're escorting these ships. I found my notes.
It sounded like it.
So we're gonna skip Sturgeon's Law.
So we're going to go to the system, but we're not going to go to the planet. We're going to go to the star to refuel.
Okay.
And use our little, I forget the name of the system, star scooper refueling thingy.
Let's
Fuel
make sure
scoop.
that
There it
works.
is. Yeah. And we'll be escorting a convoy on the way. So, yeah, that would be my recommendation, because we keep moving without stopping. We get paid a bunch of money. And, yeah, we keep heading towards our objective. And I'm marking New Home on when we're done with our mission, coming back here and playing more video game
Micro
thingies.
Heroes? Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Micro Heroes was fun. Okay, well, I'm down with that plan, Cap.
Agreed, Captain.
Are we doing the escort one or the one where we go out as bait and hope that somebody takes us out?
I like the escort one because it keeps us moving towards our actual objective.
Agreed.
That one just jumped as fast. Okay, the bait one was just in the dead space. Yes, cool.
Yes.
Gotcha. Let's get on it.
All right, well, let's run some systems checks here and make sure we're good to go, especially on like the fuel scoop, which we have yet to actually inspect or operate. I think Junkrat could probably give us a
All
good word on how well that's been maintained. And Ray can go start warming her up.
So-
You want to try to...
I'll accept any engineering role, and if you would like Junkrat to do it, we can. But I'll accept any engineering role for checking the status of the fuel scoops.
You want me to do it, Captain?
I leave it up to you. You want to do it with Junkrat's help, or matters not to
Yeah.
me.
I'll take Junkrat's help. Oh my god, they didn't... There we go.
I've had that happen more than a couple times. It sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Take a boost dice.
Okay. I'm gonna... Yes, Matthew. 5. That's way better. I'll take that. 10.
Okay. With Junkrat's help,
Plus-
you're able to now. I'm trying to remember who it was, but one of you actually had to crawl in the fuel scoop at one point in time to get in the tank when the bomb was in the tank.
Yes.
Who was that had to do that?
That was Aiden.
Well, I
think-
went in
yeah,
there.
think
I went in there
can
to
do it.
defuse a bomb.
Yep, it was
So,
Aiden.
yeah, I defused that bomb really good too. That thing was blinking, and I did awesome. I
Okay.
remember.
Yeah, I remember too. It had nothing to do with a spy lady cutting it off in exchange for a favor.
Spy lady, she did what?
Yeah, no, nothing to do with it. Don't worry about it. So right here are your fuel scoops. Okay. And the one that was on the bomb side tank, you guys do discover that you've been flying this whole time with the valve like cranked open manually. And that's the only abnormality you really find. There's a little bit of scratches and dings and things like that, but there's not a ton of wear and tear, nothing operationally that would cause an issue. The scoops are in decent repair.
Sweet.
All right, so we're gonna do all of our other pre-flights, right?
Yes, sir.
Normally, go ahead.
We're gonna fill the empty container with freight.
I think that's a good idea. We know where we're going, but we're not. Are we gonna stop in the Sturgeon Law system? Where's the next stop we have?
If you guys take a convoy escort mission, your next stop will be in Sturgeon's Law, but it will be a stop over. You'll still continue on after that. What kind of rates were we talking about originally? Just so I don't contradict myself, Ronan.
250 and 250 when it was done.
Okay. So you paid up front and at the end.
Yes, sir.
Thought that was just the Q ship one, but since we already have it in there,
Nope, you're right. That was the bait one.
because that's a life or death. That paid really well because it was, guaranteed you're going to get shot at by pirates.
Yeah, this one's just 250.
Okay. That sounds more like it. Okay, and I believe though that the escort thing did say that they would pay for fuel, which in Sturgeon's Law is not a big thing because it's just a fee for you to go skim gas, which is really cheap because Sturgeon Law wants people to visit because it sucks there. So
Fact.
Yeah, first jump, then covering gas isn't going to be that big a deal. All right, so the next thing I wanted to know is, are you guys going to do your ship maintenance? You're in a highly advanced port.
Yes.
Maintenance cost is 8,207 credits a month.
Fix the ship.
It's
a good idea.
Technically, you would be doing maintenance a week early, but because it's a month per month, and it does only take, like, you did maintenance when you were in the Kolka system, so you are doing it a bit early. However, think about where you're going and the facilities available.
Right.
Okay, so because it's so advanced, if you just want to pay your fee, we won't even do rolls.
What was the number again?
8,207 credits. It's actually on the Perfect Stranger sheet over here.
Oh, okay.
There's also normally something called living costs, but we don't do those in this. It's a house rule I have. Your living costs, which include buying your food and stuff, are included in your maintenance cost. Unless someone wants something extra special. Like, champagne or fresh pineapples or something.
Money paid.
Okay. Maintenance done. All right, you guys are pretty well covered. Your docking fees would normally be covered here, or will be paid here. However, they were covered by the local security as a thank you for your help with the case that you helped with. So your docking fees are on the house this time around.
That's nice.
And if there's no last minute questions, banter, etc., you guys can get into the business of pulling out a dock and going to the edge of the system.
Let's do this.
Oh, you don't want me to roll like 5 more times to see if we get any freight?
I'm assuming that if you're going to do freight, that you already are taking care of that in the background. But if you want to go through that manually, we can.
No, I was just rolling dice. I'm coming back to the ship real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
Keep that front door open.
Give you a minute. We'll go through what everyone else is doing while you're putting freight together. Okay, so we're going to assume, since he's being a broker right this minute, that any piloting checks will be a combination of him and Ray. As we're heading out of the system, I believe Aiden has liked to... He's both your astrogator and has been helping with sensors. Is that the case, Aiden?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Would you like to, you're moving on sublight out to the 100 diameter limit, which is where you can jump. Would you like to do any checks for both your astrogation and sensors?
Sure. Now, do we? So I guess then we do some sensors first. Make sure we're able to do a jump, right?
The sensors is a perception check that I'm giving you for a special reason.
Okay.
No, the astrogation check is something else entirely.
Copy that. So am I rolling you said you wanted perception then first?
No, I want you to roll sensors.
Oh, okay. Okay, rolled a 7 for sensors.
Okay. Do you want to add a point of luck to that to make it success?
I would, so I'll go ahead and deduct a player point to make that a success.
Oh. Speaking of which, I need to do something. Someone was supposed to get extra player points last time, and I can't remember who it was. Do you guys remember me saying it?
It wasn't me. I remember you saying
Ghost
it, but
got it for
yeah.
being Sherlock.
Yeah.
Kizik and Ghost?
Yep.
Yeah, I think they both got stuff.
Okay, so dubs. Aiden is poking at the sensors, waiting to get to the limit where the ship can make its jump. And you're in formation with a group of freighters that you are supposed to be helping escort. There is a pair of ships. They're not abnormal ships. They're rather common supply boats. They look like this. They're really not very much to look at. They're trailing the convoy at a distance, seeming to keep up course and speed, like they're going to jump out with you. Now, this is a heavily populated planet, and there's a ton of traffic, like a hugely abnormal amount of traffic coming in and out. This could be something innocuous, but it is something that you notice because, you're a paranoid spy, and 2 ships following your ship and the ships that you're with, convoy stands out to you. You can go ahead and make your astrogation check now.
All right. So are we going to do, so again, 1d6 for the time. Okay, I got 3. Were we doing, so again, I'm rolling towards intelligence too, right? So it was, I have down 3 minus 10?
It's education, not intellect.
Oh, sorry, I don't know why I had that, sorry. I had that mistake last time, sorry.
So, this is, it's a 4 plus, 1d times 10 minutes, and then your education modifier.
Okay, so education modifier, so I rolled the 3, education modifier is a 1, so we're at 4.
Just pass. Okay. So everything is looking good on your coordinates. We'll say that the reason it's so close is because you're not used to, you're basically all jumping in formation. So you are in a group, in a convoy. You guys are moving. Normally, a ship, for safety purposes, would come to a complete stop. And you guys are not moving very fast, but you're kind of sort of crawling along to maintain the formation. So you have to do this while moving and making sure that you don't bump into any of the other cargo ships, most of which are either your size or larger. Your ship is actually kind of small compared to some of these ships. These are, think of them like container ships in space. Not very well armed, but very bulk travel. Next, we'll go to, well, let's see what Kizik is doing before we go back to the jump check stuff. What's Kizik up to? He's got his stuff all sorted. You've got freight on board.
Yeah, we got very good freight. We didn't get any mail because we were too busy getting all of the other type of freight we could get. We didn't do any speculative trading, and after latching everything down, like, we are almost as full as we possibly could be.
Excellent. No passengers?
No, we're doing an escort mission. I thought that would be in bad taste.
Okay. All right. So what about Taylor? Taylor, you're ostensibly the chief engineer of the ship.
And I'm in engineering. I'm with Junkrat, and Junkrat's doing everything before I can even tell her to do it. I was slightly annoyed with this beforehand, but now I kind of find it fun to estimate how long she can take to do something, and it's very damn quick. I'm just in here supervising at this point.
Well, that would make sense. She rolled a 13 to the J drive check.
She's doing a great job. Me and Welly are very impressed.
So, all that's left is for the captain to say go.
Oh, I got so many questions before I say go. How many ships are in this convoy?
There are 5 container ships in the convoy, and there are 2 other escort smaller ships besides yourself with the convoy. They are also they're also they're like armed freighters. So they're also carrying cargo like you guys are, but they are obviously the armed escorts. The 5 main container ships are grouped in the middle, and you guys are sort of orbiting on the outside in a protective formation. The lead cargo ship is considered to be like the fleet control and has told you guys like where to be in the formation.
Okay. That was some of my questions. Do we have any standing rules of engagement from our lead ship?
They've been pretty fast and loose with the whole thing. When you accepted the contract, there was a very brief, like, what is your ship's capabilities? You guys asked about carrying cargo. They said it was fine for you to do whatever business you wanted to do along the route. And it's been very casual. You're dealing with space truckers, not military personnel.
Sweet. Okay, I think I'm out of questions for now. Then, do we know what armaments like everybody else has? Like capabilities of the other ships?
You could call and ask them directly if you wanted to strike up a conversation, but you've not been provided too much in the way of information like that.
Okay. Awesome. Is everybody ready to go? Engineering, ready to go?
Ready, Captain. But I am going to move to arm my triple turret. I can't do that from 21, right? Do I actually go into 20?
Yeah, so the way I've understood it, you have to be physically in the turret, so you'd have to go into 20. There's also 2 turrets back there. There's one with a missile launcher and a pair of lasers, and then another one with just a set of lasers.
Sweet. Homer, get on your gun.
Okay, Homer is on your Sandcaster turret.
Sweet. Sensors, we got anything?
Aiden.
Sorry, I'm here. Sensors came up. I think we're good to go. Traffic's busy out there, but I think we are everything checked out.
Okay. All right. Let's go then. Have a good time.
Captain says the magic words. The countdown clock starts. You're synchronized with the rest of the ships in the fleet, and you see a womp 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 as all the ships jump away. And then you guys jump away with the fleet, and you are in convoy and now a week in jump space. So first, let's cover our non-standard parts of the jump space rolls. As this week goes along, there's only one small normality that is outside of the normal questions I'm going to have for what you did in jump space, and that's that anyone who goes to the galley and pays attention to it will notice that the bar stocks are being consumed at a much higher rate than normal. They're not fully depleted. They're not empty. But normally, the bar would be stocked during your maintenance period, and you'd be missing like 10% of the contents. You're missing about 40% of the contents of the wet bar, specifically the liquor. And that's something you would notice over the course of the week, so it wouldn't be as noticeable at the beginning of the week as it would be at the end.
We could probably ask the steward droid who is taking the most amount.
If you would like to pursue that line of questioning, you're welcome to.
Sure. Oh, steward droid.
So the accent isn't strictly speaking necessary. What can I do for you?
Oh, sorry. The bar, I've noticed, especially the wet bar, it seems like we're going through our rations a little quick when I hold up a bottle.
And it's almost empty. Yeah. So the steward droid is like, yes, sir, the captain hasn't placed any regulations on alcohol consumption during jump space. We do have reserves if there is something specifically that you need. Let's say you're holding up a bottle of brandy. He's like, I have 2 more bottles of that in the back if you need some. I will see to restocking it immediately.
It's have you noticed who's taking the most?
Let me just roll, because he's all about proprietary like behavior and stuff like that. I have an important question, because I've made an assumption that due to the way the leadership things have gone around, that Taylor is the de facto first officer. Is that a correct assumption?
Oh, titles are so...
That's why I said de facto. But it matters to the droid, because if you're a normal crew member asking this question versus an officer, it makes a huge difference to him.
He is my first officer.
You son of a bitch.
So, assuming that you were the de facto first officer, the steward is going to be like, yes, in his off-duty hours, Helmsman Saniervo, Ray, has consumed a significant amount. His intake of alcohol far exceeds his intake of food. I have often had to remind him to eat.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate the data.
Of course, sir.
Go ahead and restock this brandy. I will speak with Ray.
Of course, sir. And he wanders off to do exactly that.
I go in and I kick the door in. It's time for an intervention. No, I'm gonna bring up a friend huddle. Where's everybody? Where's the captain? Ray, would you mind take a break?
The way that this would be happening when you're in jump space, the helmsman wouldn't necessarily have to be at the helm, but it would be normal to have at least one officer on the bridge, but everyone else could be elsewhere. So we can say that Ray is just in his quarters. I think we agree that the crew quarters were going to be down here somewhere. Although really having the pilot close to the bridge is probably real reasonable. But that's up to you guys. But there would only really need to be one person on the bridge at the time, and that's just because you're in jump space. Honestly, if anything goes wrong, you're more or less fucked anyway.
He was in the first one. We used to have all of their initials on all the rooms.
Yes, unfortunately, guys use vector lines to write it, and I periodically have to wipe those.
Okay.
Yeah. So
We should use the text boxes next time.
I periodically have to wipe those as well, just like vector lines. But what we can do is we can get note cards and stamps and stuff like that and put them on there if we want. If you guys want to figure all that out, we can take some time to do that. But let's do this scene before we get too into the minutia of who has what room. So you guys are all huddling on the bridge. You've all come to the bridge. I only wanted to point out that not everyone would be there because, this would be a quiet place where only one officer would be required to be in here at a time.
It's just a good place for us to all talk. As I close the door and I'm like, hey, have you guys noticed the Ray's hitting the bottle a little hard?
I mean, he always hit it, but he did just go through, he relived a very traumatic experience in his life.
We should probably talk to him. I don't want him to, fall into the bottom of the bottle and never come back out.
Yeah, so
Plus, he drank my brandy. Okay? This is a fucking serious problem.
I didn't know you were a brandy guy.
Oh, yes.
Is that why you have that accent sometimes?
Do we know if he's been drinking while flying or just in his off time?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I mean, you do some of the best flying you can, smashed.
Good to know.
What? Don't say stuff like that.
I mean,
I think we
nothing
literally
to
just
hit.
took off.
No, we're in hyperspace right now. We can't hit anything. Look at the lights zooming past us.
So maybe we just talk to him, tell him that we're here for him, and we'll be here to listen.
Yeah.
Maybe drink with him a little bit.
Yeah, you want to
Get to know him?
Here?
Well, is he doing this? Is he doing this drinking in front of everybody else? I mean, has anybody noticed him drinking a lot, or is it just so is he taking this back to his room and stockpiling and getting smashed, or what? I mean,
Well, that's a good question, and maybe we should figure that out and see if our boy has a problem.
So, rather than have each of you roll whether or not you remember it, I'll just say that as you talk it out amongst yourselves, you do realize that you have seen him coming to and from the galley making himself drinks. He tends to drink in his room, but he's not taking bottles in there. Also, the steward droid did tell you, and you would be able to confirm, that when he's on duty, even though you're in hyperspace, if he's the one who's supposed to be on the bridge, he doesn't drink during that time.
There you go.
okay,
He's
so
not
he just likes the sauce.
Yeah, then I think that the correct answer is that we talk to him and get to know him and let him know that we're here for him and all that stuff, because he hasn't broken any rules or put us in any danger. So
What do you say we put on a movie? Hang out and we'll watch a movie together and
Hey guys, let's binge watch the first season of Intervention.
I was thinking
Sweet.
watching It's Always Sunny or something nice.
Are we inviting him up here? Everybody gets a drink.
I don't think it's I don't think this is a thing where all of us sit here, because he walks into all of us standing there. You may think it's a little weird.
Perhaps you should designate a non-officer type to go in there and talk to him one-on-one.
Oh, Luca, you're a
I'm
non-officer.
flying the ship. Aiden can do it.
I mean, Luca is flying the ship if we're taking Ray out. Aiden's got this.
I got this.
You got this.
All right, so I'm just inviting him to a movie. Do we know what movie? We're not doing the intervention movie. Is that what you said?
Why don't we watch Everybody Loves Raymond or something?
Cool.
Or somebody feed Phil.
Somebody feed Phil.
The producer of Everybody Loves Raymond is now like a foodie, and he goes around the world eating food. It's amazing.
Oh, you mean
Oh,
around the
that's
universe he does that?
Yeah,
That's
they
pretty.
go
That's a
into
pretty good
different
job. I
planets.
think I'd like to do that. I could try different types of pizza. All right. Well, let me go get him. I'm gonna go get a hold of him and invite him to crew movie night.
All right, I'll get the movie set up.
All right. Sounds good. I'm gonna go get him.
You're not getting out of it that easy.
Who's not what?
You know what I mean.
No, I know. Okay. So what room is he at? All right. Go over here. I'm gonna knock on his door.
He's going to say enter. The door will auto slide open.
Yeah, it's like so cool. Those doors that open up like that. Hey, buddy. How you doing? How's it going, Ray?
Hey, Aiden. And you'll notice that he is a little sloshed. Not terribly, but he's got a drink in his hand.
Okay. Hey, it looks like the party started a little early, but hey, that's cool. I just wanted to, we were all talking, the crew, and we wanted to get together and have like a movie night, and we wanted to make sure that we invited you, since you're part of the crew.
Yeah, no, I'm good, man. I'd rather be alone for a bit.
Alone? Oh man, you doing all right?
That last encounter with Madison really brought back some old memories.
Terrible.
I spoke to the captain about it a little bit, but the short version is that I have quite a past, and I've made some mistakes along the way, and he's slurring a lot more than I am while he's saying these things. And kind of like he's almost a little wobbly, even though he's sitting in his chair. He's like, I don't know. I just got to think about whether or not I'm making the right decisions now, too. Everything's been different for the past few years.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. Hey, we all got past. I just want to let you know that one thing that we need to start doing though is that we need to start relying on each other. And make sure that each of us know that we're all there for each other. As part of.
Are you trying
whole
to say
crew
I'm not
thing.
reliable?
Reliable.
I do everything that I need to do for you guys. We rely on each other already, I thought.
Oh no, nothing like that. I'm just talking about we gotta be there like family. So if you're going through some kind of rough time, I know that we're gonna want to be there for you and help you through it, and at least give you an opportunity to talk. So why don't you just? I would be a good idea. At least don't be alone. Come down and hang out with us. You can get some more. We're gonna have the drinks there. We're gonna have some food. We're gonna start enjoying some movies. Start throwing some popcorn back and forth to each other. That kind of thing. I think it'd be good to socialize a little bit.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Okay.
It's persuasion plus soch.
Persuage plus soch. No, that's a wash. I rolled a 5.
Okay. So he's gonna be like, no, I can't. I wouldn't be very good company right now, and I just got to work my way through this. It's not the first time old memories have been dredged up, and I appreciate you stopping by, but I'm good, man.
All right, man. Well, hey, at least in the meantime, is there anything I can do for you? Anything I can help you out with? I just want to make sure that hey, you're my brother. You're here. We're family. Got to make sure we're taking care of each other. I wouldn't be a good family member for a good crew member if I didn't ask if there was anything I can do to help you out or make your burden a little less heavy.
Give me a perception roll.
Let's see, perception,
Recon plus int.
recon, intellect. That's 2. So I rolled that's a 9.
Okay. Every time you say the word family, he's flinching slightly. There's something about that sort of association that is causing causing him distress.
Copy. All right. All right, man. Well, hey, hopefully, at least you just kind of hang out with the friends, and at least, sometimes just doing something fun, can get your mind off of whatever you're struggling with. And I know it's kind of nice just to, to unhinge a little bit and just goof around and just have some fun. And I figured that might be a good opportunity for you. Sure, you won't change your mind.
No, I'm good, Aiden. Thank you. Yeah,
All
he pauses considerably before he says that, though.
Oh, getting some hesitation there, bud. I'm feeling like I need to just bushwhack you and drag you down there.
I'm not sure I'd be good company right now. Maybe some other time. Maybe if you guys do it again later this week.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, hey, I will go and let the guys know where you're at and what's going on, and we'll catch up with you later then.
Thanks for stopping by, Aiden.
Sure thing. Hey, take care, man. Okay, so I basically leave his room. I'm gonna head down to where everybody else is at and kind of just give them the information on what's going on.
Okay.
How's it going, guys? Well, he decided that he did not want to come at all. He already looked like he was a little smashed, but I got the feeling just from talking to him, even trying to persuade him to come and hang out with us, he's got something going along with the concept of families. There's some family issues or something like that going on. I didn't want to push him too much, but I wanted to make sure that he knew we were there for him.
I'm sure you did your best. Thanks for talking to him.
But, so I was going to leave it open, so if anybody else wants to go give it a try. But, yeah, so at least we know he's having some issues right now. Hopefully hopefully he doesn't drink us out of house and home in the meantime, or hurt himself in the meantime as well. We may want to take a little bit extra care, though, if we do any off-site missions or anything like that, just to make sure we're aware that there may be something going on with them.
You want to watch this Chrono Shift movie with me?
Oh, heck yeah, man. We got to see this.
Thanks for going down and talking to him.
Absolutely, Cap.
All right. And if you guys don't want to do any additional stuff with that, we'll just acknowledge that right now Ray has a problem. And he's working it out on his own, but it's not affecting the ship as of yet. What do you guys want to do with your week in space?
Well, one thing I want to start doing is I need to start doing some more astrogation training.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, besides obviously watching this movie and drinking some booze.
So, how many weeks of study do you have under your astrogation? Because you've been doing that for a minute.
I have a total of 3 weeks is what I have recorded down here.
Okay. All
and
right.
that's 3 weeks under my belt.
Make that 4. You need 8 for a study period.
Copy. How long before it actually goes up? I'm sorry.
Well, once you have a study period completed, once you've got 8 weeks, then you make a roll.
Yep.
And the rules for it are in the core rule book on page 55.
Okay.
And it's under training.
All right. All right. Sounds good.
Okay. When you get to the point where you want to roll, you just let me know. The way I do it is if you fail a roll, you basically lose 1 week's worth, and then you have to do another week of it and come back and try it again. There's lots of different variations on how to do that. But I don't like to drag it out. I like that you can fail a little bit. That you can be like, oh, I thought I was ready for that, but maybe I wasn't. But it's not like you unlearn everything and have to start over. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you go through that discouragement phase, where you took the big test and you just bombed it, and you're like, crap.
Yes, exactly. All right. So let's see. That's Ronan. What about? That's Aiden. What about Ghost?
I have given old mop handle to K62, the bot that we've got here, and I've gone down with my sword, and I am going to do some combat training.
Okay.
Not to kill K62, and just to stay active and have fun.
Would you like to program K62 for melee combat?
Oh, I didn't know that we had this option. Yes. Oh, it's gonna kick my ass.
Well, not at first. So
we have studied the ways of the blade together, K62.
He has 2 available program slots to add skills. Since he's been wiped back to factory settings. So you could basically upload Melee 0 into his programming.
I'm gonna call up the captain before I do this. Hey, Captain?
Yes, sir.
K62 was wiped clean. He has 2 skill slots available. I was gonna use one up, just playing around with my blades down here, but I think he might actually be, better trained in something else if you want to do that.
Are you saying you want to teach him how to fight with blades?
I was just I was down here practicing. I was trying to find some sparring partner. K62 is down here. Well, I don't have to give him any skills in blades. I was just wondering, do you have any preference? Maybe, I don't know, survival or something like that.
Blades are good.
Okay. K62, it's me and you. We're gonna learn blades together.
And you and me before you cut his head off? Is that how it's gonna go? That's a whole throwback from our channel. Okay, so a couple things are going to happen. You're going to have to enlist your brother's help. Well, you don't have to, but you probably should. Someone needs to go in there and upload the program necessary into his computer core, and they have to disable the human life safeties if you intend to use him as a combat droid. Basically, he has an Asimov rule built in by default that says that he will not harm or allow harm to come to a person. That has to be disabled for him to engage in combat, even sparring.
Okay, so Taylor, being a mechanic and everything, he realizes this goes past the OBD2 port, and you have to, flash stuff. So, K62, would you mind coming with me, please? And we are gonna go bother my brother. Hey, Luca, as he's flying, Luca, could you talk to me for a second? It looks like you're doing something very important, though.
He's playing Galaga because the ship's in jump space.
Feed her up.
Is that an orange on the steering wheels? Just holding it?
I mean, you don't have to hold anything. We're in hyperspace. I'm literally just making sure it's not about to blow up. And hey, guess what? It's not about to blow up.
Very important work.
Yeah, but you got a robot.
Yes, you
That's
know
K62. Yeah. Let's.
Okay. So, I had an idea that, during this hyperspace jump, I could go and fight K62, with blades, so that I could I don't know, have fun. It seemed like a good idea at the time, but if it will only work if you program it.
Yeah, he's not hitting you. He's just telling you, I'm about to strike because he can't physically cause harm to another human.
Yes, he was like, as an automaton, I cannot. And I was like, dude, we're playing a game. And he's like, I understand that, but as an automaton, I can't. And I'm like, I'm done with this.
He does. Master Taylor does not seem to understand that even with the stick, I could crush his skull as I possess many times the strength of a normal human.
Yeah, he could lift the entirety of the Glass Sparrow if you wanted to.
Yes.
So you think he'd be a bad sparring partner?
No, I think he'd be great. I'm like itching to let him hit you as hard as he can.
That will kill me, probably.
Like 2%.
I was going to give him the mop handle, and I had the sword.
Okay, so concussions are okay with you?
I mean, I really didn't want to just, like, unlock his ability to kill people, but this was just supposed to be a little bit of sparring fun.
So you could get stabbed too. Concussions and no artery hits though.
I didn't realize we would have to jailbreak this android. So
You guys are talking him out of this so hard. But going to your brother about this is probably a terrible idea. Yes,
Captain said I could.
he sure did.
Captain said you could load a Blades program on the droid,
Ah, there we go.
which
Captain
is
said we
what
could load him.
which is what you asked. You didn't go, hey, can I go fight the droid?
It's also worth noting that the droid is very intuitive and intelligent. It's just not very talkative. So it's not like it won't understand the concept when you say we're going to spar.
Yes, please. Hit me with non-fatal blows, please.
Yeah. It may ask you at what difficulty you want to do so, which will be fun once we get it to that point.
All right, so K62, could I see your programming interface, please?
Affirmative. And this is the kind of thing that, Luca doesn't really know how to program a droid. However, for obvious reasons, the corporation that built K62 wanted it to be easy to upload certain programs. So I'm going to assume we're going to retcon that you guys bought a compatible program while you were in port at New Home, because it would have had the technology to do so. And all you're doing
debug bridge.
and all you're doing is installing the module.
I forgot to get a new computer at New Home. I was looking so forward to it.
Bummer, man. I'm sorry.
But I got a lot of cargo down there. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's probably our last, major TL, like high-level TL planet in a long time.
Yeah. They had like programs you can get for things. Oh man, disappointed in myself. But we did get this program for this droid, and I don't know why, but they put his access port like right on his belt, and he's really close to me right now. But let me upload this.
Yeah. So as you're putting it up, there are several configuration settings. Roll me a computers check, because one of those computer settings is, can it kill people? Like, is this for combat purposes, or is this for, what purpose?
I'm not. This is just a regular computers check.
It's a regular computers check, but it's only a 6 to pass.
Oh, I got exactly a 6.
Okay. I mean, it would have been okay if you'd failed. We'd just been like, you need more time because, Windows and incorrect settings and all that.
Uncertain if it can kill or not.
Yeah. So are you sure you want to do this is what I was thinking. Because, I can just imagine the Windows version of a robot OS is, hey, we've noticed that your security settings aren't exactly what we think they should. Are you sure you want to hit this button to open this port? So, okay, it's now enabled, and K62 turns to Taylor and is like, I am ready to proceed with sparring.
Please
Smack him.
continue trial version.
Smack him.
All right, K62, let's go down somewhere where we're not going to fuck things up. Like, no fighting on the bridge, right?
Affirmative.
That's a good rule.
So you
Concur
guys
with
come
that
down.
rule.
I'd like to also point out that this cargo bay is stacked
Yes.
with cargo.
Awesome.
So the way I imagine it is there are basically like shipping containers that are lined up, and there's alleys between the shipping containers that you can do. And there might be like a couple of areas because there's got to be like load lifter stuff in here too. It's also worth noting that when this thing was being loaded, you would have noticed that K62 was picking these 1-ton containers up and moving them. So
All right. So I'm going to get my ass handed to me.
it's possible.
Hey, Luca, do we have camera feeds of the cargo bay?
Everyone's rushing to the break room to watch.
Give me a
Yeah, I
second
totally
and
heard
can
something's
send
going
it to
down. I
your
gotta see
tablet.
this.
Can we feed that to the bridge? Oh no,
yeah, come on up. Let's get odds.
Where's Ray? Grab Ray. Like,
Yeah, put it on the big screen.
Okay, so
So,
Tail.
K62, I could only find this mop handle. I have this sword. This isn't going to hurt you, though, right, K62?
You could damage me with that sword. However, we could put a sheath on it, and that would limit the amount of damage it would do.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'll put it back in its sheath and then, like, close the little clasp that
Yeah.
holds it together.
At what level would you like me to spar with you? I'm capable of maneuvers that a human opponent would not be capable of. Would you like those to be off limits? I am capable of strength beyond that of an opponent you are normally capable of encountering. At what level would you like me to spar with you? At the
over
max?
the intercom in the cargo bay, you're gonna hear level 0. There is now a level 0.
You can take him, brother.
Is there, like, half measures? Can we do, like, level point 1?
Of course. You can customize your settings at any way you want, or I can interpret them as best as I can, depending on what you want. If you simply want a workout, I will simply defend from your attacks. There would be no risk to you in this state.
Oh, that's safe. Yeah. Well, I've trained in the blade. Why don't we just go with level 1 and see how it goes?
Acknowledged. I'm going to treat this broom handle you've given him as a club. A club does 2d damage. For the purposes of this sparring, this is like subliminal damage, or not subliminal.
Superficial?
Subdual damage. Yeah, it's knockout damage. Okay. So he has a strength of 9, which I think is a 0 modifier.
It's a +1.
Oh, he has a +1. Okay, and he has a 0 melee now because of his program, so he's at +1 for these rolls. Okay. So he will only defend. Oh, are we betting? Yes.
I don't know. Nobody else.
No.
Come on, Captain.
I was just going to mention that. I'm like, this is kind of like, Neo and Morpheus fighting it out. I'm like, we gotta play some bets.
What you ought to do is watch the first match and then decide how much you want to bet. And on
Where's the fun in that?
Well, we gotta figure out. We gotta
I
figure
got
out
it all
odds.
here.
So that's probably the best idea.
Ray, you want in on this?
Ray's gonna be like, I mean, if he lets the robot fight back, I will put 20 credits on the robot. If he doesn't let the robot fight back, the robot can't win.
Over comms. You hear, hey, brother, let the robot fight.
Yeah, we're on level 1. It's not just defense only. I could, like, break a bone or something here.
Yeah, Ray, come on. 20 credits, get out of here. Give me 100. Oh, no. Yeah, 100. Gold.
So, because I thought you had said you only wanted him to defend your attacks. Okay,
I
so
thought that might be safe, but then I changed my mind.
okay. Okay, so we're gonna take it in combat turns then. And Ray's definitely gonna give you 100 credits action on the robot. He'd be like, I will go double or nothing if you let the robot do whatever it can do to win.
No, he's gonna. It's gonna be fair.
What? There's nothing about this is fair.
All right, so
Yeah,
now
nothing about
this
is fair.
this has turned into a full blown arena sport as Taylor realized he may have done a thing he didn't realize he was doing.
Yeah, I hear them. They've left the comms open.
Yeah.
And they've just, like, I can hear them all, like, okay, $5? No, 10, 20, 100. I look at this robot and I'm like, you are way bigger than I thought you would be. Like, I've been next to you all day and I just realized how tall you are.
He's only slightly taller than you. He's about 6'4".
I got my money on you. Like, you got this, Taylor.
Actually,
All right, I move in, feint to the left, and then jab with my sword.
okay, go ahead and roll a melee. He will give you the initiative because he's a robot. You want to make this opposed checks, knowing that you have a slight advantage there, or do you want to just do success fail?
It should be opposed, I think, because we're battling. But I have a +1 in my blade, and I rolled an 8, so 9 total.
Okay, well, so he rolled a 9 and he has a +1, so he rolled a 10. So he is going to deflect your attack, and he is going to initiate one of his own.
Ooh, good job, 62.
So you say you go to the side. I'm going to say that after he deflects his attack, because he's a broom handle and not a proper sword, he sticks it between your two legs trying to trip you. He rolls a 11 plus 1 is 12. You can defend.
Oh, God. Yes, I'm going to defend. But I didn't. I got a 6.
Okay, you fall flat on your face.
Ooh. Oh, 62. You're you're pretty good. I stand up and brush myself off.
You rolled
Okay.
you rolled a 4 for damage.
Ooh. Ow.
I will say that, like, if you're about to, like, slam into the container, because he isn't trying to hurt you, he'll, like, guide you away from it. So, like, he is making active measures to not actually hurt you.
Okay. More than my pride is broken. But I will, I'll stand up and dust myself off and then square up again. I think I hear the comms. Everybody's laughing at me.
Yeah, get it, brother. One more time.
So, the K-62 is going to be like, so should we consider each individual attack and parry? And basically he's asking, should each turn be considered a separate scenario? Would you like me to cycle through combat styles like those of the Vargar or Aslan? Would you like me to simulate a human attacker that trained as a pirate or mercenary?
Oh, that's cool. Mix it up.
Very well. I can select random attacks. Would you care to initiate, or would you like me to?
Well, I started last time and I ended up on my ass, so I'm gonna wait for you. And I go into, like, defense mode.
Okay. You step back. He actually backpedals away from you and then starts backpedaling up the wall as you realize that he has gecko feet. He can walk up surfaces. And he actually climbs all the way onto the ceiling above you before launching in a pounce attack style from the ceiling towards you. He rolled a, that's 6, 7, 8. So you need an 8 to defend it.
Uh, 10.
Okay, so you're going to successfully be able to deflect or maneuver his attack, however you would like.
Oh, it's gonna be sloppy. Just barely made it, and I feel really happy about that.
Okay. So if you go like that, we'll say that you very gracefully sidestep, but it was very you sidestep. It was very not graceful. Okay, you're gonna roll your next attack towards him.
He telegraphed it very a lot. So.
Well, he did. He was hoping to catch you off guard with the whole "you didn't know he could climb walls" thing.
11. Take this. Yeah.
Okay, he rolled an 8 to defend, so your attack is successful. How does your attack go down?
I stick the sheathed sword like into. I guess he's got like. Let me look at his armor here.
I mean, he's metal, so if you want to simulate driving it through him, you would just hit him with it.
Right. I'll just poke him really hard with it.
That wasn't a very good hit, sir. You would do well against an Aslan. They rely on their ability to climb and use their hand blades over their opponents as their main advantages, and you seem to handle that very well. Have you fought any Aslan in the past?
I have not. That's interesting, K62. Thank you. That was very scary, by the way.
You did ask to randomize different opponents. Would you like to continue with this? We appear we appear to be tied 1-1.
This is very interesting.
Very well. I will randomize another set of attackers. I believe it is your turn to initiate.
I just feel bad about everybody else. I didn't want to take everybody's game tonight. Oh, Lord.
I was only planning on doing 3 rounds, so.
Okay. Oh, I got a 5. This is it for me.
We're definitely still enjoying this.
Get a brother.
All right, so describe what you were trying to do.
I think I was trying to feint right and then jab left and high. I probably telegraphed it all, and K62 read it all on my face.
All right. So he ends up with an 8. I believe that beats what you had.
Oh yeah, I had a 5.
Okay. So he basically trips you and then grabs you on the back of the scruff of the neck, and then pins your face down to the floorboards a little hard. But he is like, since I don't have jaws of a Vargar, I had to use my hand to simulate that attack, but they would have just ripped your throat out. You may wish to practice against Vargar.
It's good to know. K62, thank you very much.
Does this conclude our spar? You're bleeding.
Yes, thank you. Please let me up, please.
You're welcome.
K62. Okay. Oh, ow. Good game, K62. I go to fist bump K62.
He very gently fist bumps you back.
All right. Cool. Thanks, man. I limp back to the hoist.
Ray looks over at Luca. I think you owe me 100 credits, bud.
Son of a bitch. You hit him at least once. It was fun hanging out with you.
Was he like super drunk when he came in and bedded?
He wasn't super drunk, but he's probably tipsy. He did come in and bet because he could hear all this going over the intercom. While you guys were there, if any of you want to have rolled any like social stuff for him, if you do a 7 or better, you can have made him more comfortable with the crew, as I think is your goal.
That'd be a persuade. Or a carouse. I'm a carouse him.
Actually, carouse is absolutely the best way to go, if it's a skill that you have.
That's a 9 plus 1 in carouse is a 10.
So Ray and Luca have definitely been bonding as the pilots of the ship. If he's going to open up to anybody at this point, it probably is going to be Luca.
Let's talk about our checkered pasts.
Actually, from a story perspective, your character would probably understand his backstory the best. But that's up to you if you want to pursue it, because I think that you are the one... Oh, you and Ronan have not gone yet.
I'd like to start studying broker.
Okay.
I don't know if he's a broker or not, but I'd like some kind of mentor. I was hoping maybe the GG, but I could talk with Ray about brokering.
So officially, the one role you didn't pick up was broker. That was the pirate guy. And you guys chose, for good reasons, not to employ his services. With all of that said, both Raymond and Gigi have dealt in some pretty shady environments, and they have some basic skill in doing things like broker. So they would absolutely be good as study buddies, but they wouldn't be a teacher per se.
Yeah, well, I'll cozy up to Ray, and we'll do some. So you drove a ship with all of this stuff on there, yeah, and there's just this guy that just talked to him. And what kind of things did he say? Like how? Because I got a bunch of stuff in there, and I think it was just because that New Hope had such a great stock of everything, but it'd be nice to be able to like actually get a good deal on things.
Do you have any ranks in Streetwise?
I do.
Roll a Streetwise check, and we'll say that like late one night, you know, Raymond has come up there, and you guys are talking about the different shady shit that he's done.
I rolled a 2.
Okay, so
Snake eyes.
we're still going to have the RP, but you're not going to get the benefit from this part of it. You also still get your study period because that's just a given. But Raymond is like, he let slip after a few drinks that for a very brief period of time, he was part of the oh crap. It's the Viking pirate group, and I can't remember what name they had. But I do have a little Spine Breakers. He's part of the Spine Breakers pirate clans, which he explains are not really pirates at all. They're like a hyper seclusive Viking-esque culture, and they're highly misunderstood. But they do commit acts of piracy as part of what they do. So therefore, they're just referred to as a pirate group, and that's a interesting bit of information.
I mean, I've never been a pirate, but I have killed a cop. I also sold like uppers to all of the Navy guys, and I crashed a like $1.25 million copter into the side of a mountain off of a bed.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's going to take a long swig from his drink, and Raven's going to look at Luke and say, actually, the entire time I was with the Spine Breakers, I never had to kill anybody.
Man, that's good for you, man.
It's one of the reasons I think they're so misunderstood. I mean, don't get me wrong. They will kill you if you fight them. But if they pull up next to your ship and order you to heave to and you do it, they're not only will they not kill you, but they're going to make sure that you're not left in an easy position to die. They're going to make sure that you have enough fuel and ship to get home.
That's pretty cool, man. Those are the Spine Breakers.
Yeah, they were real good to me. I went through a lot while I was with them.
Was that before or after you were engaged to like Duchess-like person?
It was so much more complicated than that. You see, she was already married. And her husband found out about our relationship. Things got very messy. I got blacklisted for a long time, couldn't get a job. And that's when I joined the Spine Breakers. And then one day we're raiding this luxury liner, and there both of them are. And he was so scared he was using her as a human shield. And things got out of hand, and he shot her.
Fuck.
Yeah. I would have killed him. I was just in such shock. And my crewmates who were with me, they didn't fully understand what was going on. But seeing him with a, laser pistol pointed at me, there was no hope that anything was going to happen but what happened. And of course, with him and her dead, that's how Madison inherited the family business. No one really knows exactly what happened in that pirate raid, or even that I was there, but there were rumors that I was a spine breaker, and Madison's family and everyone else involved They thought maybe I had something to do with it, but there was no proof. It's been with me for a very long time. And there are other things too, but I think perhaps that's enough for tonight. I would appreciate it if you kept this between us.
I spit on the floor and say, fuck Vadison. We're leaving that shit behind us. Give me a swig of that before you leave.
Okay. So you have bonded with Ray and learned a little bit of his story. Also, I'm gonna roll. Oh, that dice is dead to me now. It fell off. Let's see here. That's a 8. That's a pass. I'm going to reduce his psychological trauma slightly from your little conversation and him getting to talk about it, since there isn't a ship therapist available. Drinking and chatting with your buddy is definitely the next best thing.
I'll let you know the next time my brother fights that robot too. I'm gonna get that money back.
Sure you are. I believe you, Luca. And he's going to retire to his quarters. You're going to go ahead and add your, I'm sure you already have, but your study period.
Yep.
And we're going to move on to Ronan. How does a captain spend his week?
Captaining? Duh. Do what I want.
All right, hold on a second. Ghost, can we hear the Zaf Brannigan?
Is that Brannigan?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Give me your captain voice.
Come on, guys. We're gonna go and do whatever we need to do.
So he's got this amazing character going on in a different art tabletop that isn't being streamed. He does an amazing. Of course, I'm captaining all week. It would fit perfectly.
Wow.
I'll be captaining all week. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Junkrat and Homer, who's been hanging out in his turret this entire time, to meet me.
He just sits up there with headphones in and plays on his tablet.
It's spinning the entire time.
Actually, give me a perception check there, Mr. Captain.
Oh, that means I have to roll dice. Let's see if I can get above a 7 today.
Since you are interacting directly with Gigi and Homer.
Gigi's pregnant.
No, she's not.
What the
8.
Okay, well, you do pass. So she is not pregnant, but you do notice that Gigi and Homer have been spending a significant amount of time together. They've become very close. You're pretty sure you caught her coming in and out of Homer's quarters a couple times late in the ship evening.
Good for them. Homer's having a great time ever since we got his phone.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a limited pool of suspects too, because those two are the young ones on the ship. They're both the only ones who are about their age group.
Yep. Where's Junkrat? Can I get Junkrat up here too?
Yar.
There's Junkrat.
Junkrat's always an engineer. You have to pry Junkrat out of engineering anytime you need her.
But right now we are going to talk with Junkrat and Homer about the wonderful thing called a flamethrower.
Ooh. We like flamethrowers. Everybody likes a flamethrower.
So in my training of man-portable heavy weapons, I have no experience with flamethrowers, but Junkrat has one on her little thingy.
You mean her vac suit, her heavy vac suit, that is the exact same and identical heavy vac suit that you use?
Yeah, my boarding one? Yeah, except I don't have a flamethrower.
Yes.
Yet. I don't have a flamethrower yet. So we're going to sit here, and because Homer likes guns, the three of us, discuss the finer points of flamethrower usage and maintenance.
Okay. I mean, that's going to lead to the obvious question from Junkrat of, do you want a flamethrower built into your vac suit?
Do we have the parts that we need to build a flamethrower into my vac suit?
Yes. It's
Then, of
easy.
course-
It's very easy to build a flamethrower.
Then of course, that sounds like an amazing idea. That way I can get practical application of flamethrower use.
She is going to warn you that while flamethrower is a very effective boarding/anti-boarding tool, it does wreak havoc on the ship and the life inside it.
Yes.
So amongst your conversation, and Homer, who loves guns, is also going to be deeply involved in this conversation. She's going to be like, now imagine you have a tight corridor that's having, your atmosphere, including your oxygen, pumped into it, so it's kind of compressed, and that you then take a compressed flame and shoot it down that enclosed space.
That sounds like it would be absolutely amazing, and why I'm wearing a vac suit.
Yes, she's just like, just make sure that you are wearing a vac suit, because anyone not wearing a vac suit in said compressed space is going to get cooked alive, regardless of whether the flame actually hits them.
I feel like this is a very effective weapon system.
It's also going to melt all the plastics and wiring, and she's going to start listing all the amazing amounts of damage it does to anything that isn't like hard metal. Which you can imagine that something that's, 1200 degrees coming down the hallway is probably going to do.
I think this is an amazing idea. Thank you for teaching us about this wonderful weapon system.
So is that going to be in your heavy weapon use, or are you doing that for another skill?
That's all for heavy weapon, man-portable heavy weapon.
Okay. I believe that hits the whole crew. So you guys are going to drop out of hyperspace, or drop out of jump space, in the space between Sturgeon's Law and New Home. And generally, before you would jump out of hyperspace, you would assign everyone to like action stations kind of deal.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and talk about really briefly where each of you are going to be when you drop out of space. Jump space.
Standing on my number 2. Boop. Homer, get in your gun.
10-4. Roger, roger.
I'm in my gun.
GG's an engineer, or sorry, Junkrat's in engineering. GG has taken to going to the recreation area, and sitting like meditation style on a mat every time you guys come in and out of space. This is something you probably wouldn't have immediately noticed, as during these transition periods, everyone's running around like a chicken with their head cut off. But she's obviously trying to do something psionically, you guys just don't know what. And you guys revert to real space. All of the convoy container ships are present and accounted for. You guys are going to do a quick scan of the area. So whoever wants to do sensors is going to do that.
Go, sensor guy.
Sensors, yay. Okay.
I'm gonna stand over his shoulder and help him.
That's probably a good idea.
Okay, rule A7.
Is that with my help?
No, you were doing so I'm doing a boost dice.
Yes.
Copy. Okay, so that is a 10 with the boost.
Okay. You notice that those two supply boats have dropped out of jump space, and they're not part of the convoy. Behind you guys, at significant, like they were moving at higher speed than you were when you went into jump space. You come out of jump space at the same speed you went into jump space at. So because they were at a higher velocity, they're still moving at a higher velocity. So now they're like closing the gap on your ships. Your ships are in their FTL cooldown phase and cannot immediately spool their ships back up, or their jump drives back up. This is going to alarm the convoy, and the convoy leader is going to ask the perfect stranger to go intercept them.
Roger.
Now these jump boats, or these supply boats, they are tiny compared to even your ship. So it's like a gnat to the bigger ships, just to put things in scale and perspective. But they are acting abnormally, even almost aggressively.
Unidentified vessel, this is the perfect stranger. Report your purpose and report what you want.
All right.
Yo, what's your deal?
Snake eyes. All right, so one of them's going to come back and say, "Perfect stranger, you should heave to. We will be boarding you shortly. We are here to make a lawful apprehension of a criminal suspect."
You're gonna need to give me more information than that.
As Lucas sprints right past you, and you see the second turret pop up.
Whoa. Are these
How-
cops?
How far away are they?
So they're quite a distance away. They are closing on you at about double the speed in which you're moving, but the convoy is moving away from them. Actually, since you've turned and intercepted them, you've been moving towards them at twice the speed. I mean, they're beyond weapons range for anything but your missile systems right now.
Unidentified vessel, this is perfect stranger. Identify yourself.
We are bail enforcement officers assigned to the... who can remember off the top of their head the name of the corporation? Crux Corp. Assigned to Crux Corp on Acadie. We are in pursuit of a criminal suspect wanted for destruction of corporate property and the possible investigation of a murder.
Who?
We have 2 suspects that we need to acquire on board the vessel. Oh wait, did you say that over comms, or is that just you asking metagame? Because technically you're not on the bridge, but you could still ask though.
I'm metagame asking.
Okay.
Who are you looking for?
We have warrants for Luca and Taylor Boaz.
Fuck!
So bail bonds enforcement, by the way, means they're bounty hunters.
I'm gonna mute my mic and look over to... Oh, Luca ran off, didn't he?
Yeah, he said, "Please identify yourself," and he knew what the identification was going to need. You can call me back in.
You guys have ship intercoms too. It's not like you have to be face to face to talk to them.
Yeah. On the ship's intercom, be like, "Luca, what did you do?"
I don't know what you're talking about. He said it was Crux Core.
Yeah.
I mean, we did, that's the map place, right?
Yeah, man, that's the place that we exploded.
We shot their head security guy and ran out the front door. Yeah, that place.
That guy, yes, not the map place. The map place was Leopard Comms. This is before that. This is the same planet you shot the police officer on.
Leopard Comms is the one that we actually did right. Crux Corp is the one we completely butchered. And Aiden hit a guy with a ladder.
Yep, sure did.
Yeah, I don't think I did anything on Crux. I
I don't remember anything like that at all. I just
Aiden and one of the brothers was with me on the roof. The other one was shot the guy in the face and hit him, and then Aiden hit the guy with the ladder.
Raymond is going to say, "Captain, we're going to be closing into weapons range with them rather shortly. What do we want to do here?"
Unidentified vessel. This is perfect stranger. Halt your advancer. You will be fired upon.
They break
Enemy
comms.
died.
They break comms and they split. So they are moving in opposite directions now, which will make it very difficult for you to engage both of them at the same time.
Oh man.
And I'm gonna call battle stations and sound some general alarms, and we're gonna have some fun.
All right, so let me get this thing and put it here. Everyone remember basically where you're at. Actually, I could probably just pull out a star map and do it the other way. Let's see. Where did I put? No. So over here, next to Ronan's table, I have put a board. I'm going to put grid projection on it. Okay, it's already supposed to be that. Options, grid. We want show lines. There we go. This will be a notional fight, obviously. And we need a perfect stranger-esque. I thought I had a token for the. Maybe it's here. It's one of these things. Yeah, it's way too big, but that's definitely what I need. Alright. Like I said, very notional. We don't want them too close together because we have to denote the extreme range you guys are at. Okay? So, they've split off into different sides. You have no idea how these supply boats are. You know that by default, supply boats are not armed. They are basically the cheapest form of spacecraft capable of jumping between stars.
Don't let them get to us.
And I have basic sensors.
You have basic sensors.
All right. One of these days, we need better sensors.
I mean, you need to define better. Like, your sensors are not bad. Your sensors are also better than theirs will be.
But they're also not good enough for whatever I want to do with them. Sensor guy. Are you there?
Captain, I'm here.
Can you start scanning for any sorts of energy buildup, missile launch detection, anything like that?
Okay, so you want me to scan both ships, Captain, or
Both ships, and like keep me updated on like where they're at and what they're doing.
okay?
Yep.
Okay, so first things
We've
first. You give them a very broad thing. So there's basically he's gonna have to do a sensor lock. He's gonna have to like do a sensors check to lock onto a single target. At which point you can say, okay, I know where that target is. Or he's gonna have to track while scan, meaning he's gonna have to track one target and then scan for the other target. So you're going to know where a target is 90% of the way and only have 10% of the other target. You can adjust those percentages as much as you want. Just realize it'll affect, like you have to point the sensor dish at one of them. Or you have to keep a really broad spectrum of what you have. But it wouldn't matter.
Better sensors.
You could have TL17 sensors and not have anything better than that. That's just a mechanic of how it works.
That means I just need 2 sensor dishes. Anyway, let's go with this one. Track this one.
Okay, so you're going to sensor lock that one?
Yep.
All right, that's Aiden.
All right, sensor locking on the one ship. Ah, man. All right, man. So we got a 3.
Okay.
I don't think that worked, Captain.
Well, keep trying. Yeah.
So you hit the button to track the target, and the ship's computer comes back and says track which of these targets, and what it's done is it's got every target that's a local vicinity, including the convoy, but they're all only identified by like pulsar numbers, like their distance from the closest pulsar. And that confuses Aiden.
Sweet. So they're splitting. Are their vectors opening? Like, are they going this way and this way,
Sorry, I'm not
or are they?
looking, I'm reading a book. I'm trying to get
sorry.
the rules sorted for things you're doing as you're live telling me you're trying to do them. All right, so
Sorry.
the ship basically goes as a turn, but I need each player to take a turn. So far I've had the captain take a turn, and I've had the sensor operator take a turn, and everyone else now needs to have an opportunity to take a turn and do a thing. And even if they don't want to do anything, we have to give them the opportunity every time, because then the other guys have to take a turn.
Roger.
So we can just roll down the list. Kizik?
They're outside of the range of my turret.
Oh yeah, by significant amounts. Like, you guys are going to be in space for minutes before you're within beam weapon range.
I'm gonna look out into the deadness of space, hoping to see something.
Okay. Ghost?
I have a flashback to when my brother and I could have been a little bit better. And then I regret everything as I realize that I have to kill these guys. And I don't want to.
You
But I'm
remember
going to
Crux
mull that over
Core
while I bring them into my crosshairs. Yeah.
Crux
yeah,
Core.
I remember.
Is a front for Newberian intelligence, right?
That is
Yeah.
correct. Which means that these, whether they know it or not, are Newburn agents. Now, that's the only question that may give them some shred of innocence. They might be just independent employees who have been told by the cover company, these guys killed a police officer and they killed our head of security and they're murderers. That's the only consolation you could give yourself.
I'm imagining each ship has a complement of crew, too, so
Hmm?
I'm going to pull the trigger and vaporize a bunch of lives.
Well, not yet.
Just meditating on that for a little bit.
Not yet, but you do have the only weapon capable of firing on them at this range.
Oh, I do? Then
Yeah.
I'm gonna do
Yeah.
The missile launcher. So on page 172 of the core rulebook, it goes over missile combat, which is what I'm trying to digest right now. So launching a missile, you're launching at very long range. It takes 4 rounds for that to impact. And you launch them in a salvo. You have 12 missiles in a rack right now. And you need to understand that it is important that that rack, while you have spare reloads for that rack, it is not an automatic reload system. So you basically have 12 shots. Also, missiles are about 1 million credits a shot. Not 1 million, 100,000 credits a shot. I can't remember the exact number, but they're very, very expensive. With that said, one missile, if it hits, will almost certainly do the trick here. But that's up to you guys. Just trying to give you all the stuff. The way that you would shoot it, what I'm trying to figure out now. I know that it's missiles are launched in salvos. A salvo is all of the missiles launched by a ship against a single target in the same combat round. This could be a single missile from a single turret, 3 from a triple turret with 3 missile racks, or dozens from multiple turret bays, blah, blah, blah. We know we're not doing that. Missiles salvos effectively have a thrust 10. Okay. So that actually reduces it. I'm going to say it's only going to be 1 round until it will hit. So salvos can be fired at distant ranges and attacking ship. So if detected, blah, blah, blah. So I'm gonna... Missile salvo reaches the target, makes an attack roll as a normal attack step. However, neither the gunner skill of the travelers that fire the salvo nor the range are used as modifiers. Other modifiers such as evasive action are used. Okay, so the missile is actually what makes the roll. You simply have to designate that you're firing the missile. And then I roll to see if they detect it and have countermeasures for it.
Sweet.
Well, then fires the missiles.
IRC missiles!
How many? And at which target?
They're very expensive. I'm going to shoot one at this supply boat here.
Okay. Okay. So let's see. Odubs, you went because you did a sensor thing. So that's everybody. Everybody has now went. So now I'm going to see if they detect. So detecting missile launches. Once missiles have been launched at a ship, the target has the option to avoid the attacker or reduce the number of missiles that can reach it. However, in order to do this, the crew must know that the missiles are inbound. Yes, I already knew that part. Thanks for the explanation. When a ship launches a missile, sensor operators on board the ship may make an immediate routine 6+ electronic sensors check in order to detect them. That's a negative, Ghost Rider. Probably a moot point at this, but I'm going to read the rest of it. If the firing ship has not been detected itself, it becomes an average check. BM+1 is applied to every full 10 missiles of the salvo. So one missile is very sneaky. Undetected missiles may be picked up by the sensor operator at the start of every combat round with an average of 8+. But yeah, so basically you get chances to detect them after launch. That's fine too. But that's not going to happen. Let's go into their turn. They are unaware of the missiles coming to them. They are branching out in a Y-like shape. You only have vague course notifications on where they're at because the sensors operator was not able to get a lock on them. I would also like to point out that your turrets are on top that are in the front. So you have two turrets on top of the ship. One of them is a Sandcaster turret. So it's a defensive anti-missile, anti-laser turret. That's the one that Homer is in. Kizik is in the offensive turret, but you have to get much closer, almost to dogfighting range, really, to use that. The missile that you fired came out of the back of the ship and is going to have to arc all the way around. And I will roll for it at the beginning of the next combat round. I'm going to roll one more thing. Okay. All right, so we're going to start the next round, but we're going to start it with Dubs. I need an immediate sensors check from you.
All right, immediate sensors check.
This does not count as your turn.
Copy. Immediate sensors, we have run an 8.
Okay, you detect a missile launch from this boat.
All right, guys, we have an incoming missile from that boat, signaling the same boat that Ark did.
So now you guys can go into your normal turn and tell me what you're going to do. Basically, you fired a torpedo. They fired a torpedo. You got the beep, 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 except for they don't know theirs is coming.
On the 1MC, torpedo inbound or missile inbound. Prepare for impact. And then Homer, all you, buddy. And then I want Ray to, since this map doesn't show 3 dimensions, I want Ray to go basically under the 2 ships.
Okay. That is
So
something we can show. We ordered Ray to do it, so I need to roll for that.
He's my pilot, so
he has a +4, so that's 6 + 4, that's a 10. So he's gonna drop you guys down. Oh, I thought I locked that guy, but I didn't. Okay, so he's gonna drop you guys down. So what I want to point out here next is So Homer's going to say, hey, in the simulators, I always wait until the beam laser tries to shoot the missile down before I fire the sandcasters. Do you want me to skip that and just fire the sandcasters?
Let me take a shot.
Okay. You can do that this round because it's going to have closed enough in the gap. So, by the way, space combat, when you're not in dogfighting range, each round is a minute. When you get in dogfighting range, it goes back to 6 seconds.
Nice.
So this guy's coming in.
Yep, it's a 10 plus to hit it.
Oh, I didn't have the right thing to pick it up. I was flicking things. Just building the tension.
Mhm.
Rolled an 8. I have 0 in turret. I've got a 2 in dexterity for a 10. Also, beam lasers give you a +4. Is that still the case?
That is still the case. So
That's a 14.
you pull the laser targeting thing up. It gives you a little tracking thing on the missile because you guys did detect the launch. And you pull the trigger at the absolute maximum range, and just one pulse comes out of the top beam turret and vaporizes the missile coming in.
We look like we're pros.
Score.
You realize at this point that the other escort ships from the convoy are also turning around. They don't know these aren't pirates.
Oh, good, because they're totally pirates, right, guys? Nudge.
They're pirates, yes.
Yeah, these pirates.
Do we need to let the other people know that these guys are pirates and we're defending,
We should
so
let
that they
them
don't
know.
run away?
We should let them know they got missiles.
Oh yeah, warn them or something, because we don't want to lose our money too for the escort, right?
I don't know that
and
I don't
I
think
can-
you necessarily need to worry about that in the midst of combat, but I'll leave that up to the party.
No, gotcha.
No, we'll stay with our guns, and like I will radio the convoy and tell them to maintain course and speed, and we'll take care of this.
Okay. Does that include the escorts?
Yes.
Okay. Give me a leadership check. It's a 4 to pass, but you gotta make at least the 4.
We got this.
I mean, that's what they want to hear, but they also have a job to do.
You think we have this until I start rolling dice.
Leadership is on the
On that-
right-hand column.
That Snake Eyes I did was pretty sexy.
My 3 isn't much better than it. You said it's in the right-hand column?
I think it's in the right-hand column. Let me double checking.
Leadership's in the L's. It's right over mechanic.
Yep, leadership's in the middle column. I'm real bad at this, yo.
All right, so I've got 0.
And a -1 in social.
Yeah, so -1.
So the escorts are still coming back, and they're like, negative, there's hostiles. We're going to come back you up, but you will let you take point. So they're still coming.
Are coming.
Okay.
All right.
So Kizik, you fire to intercept the beam. That was your turn. Ronan, by the way, you may roll naval tactics, and you may roll leadership for various things you want to do.
I don't know that I want to roll dice again.
It's you may.
Let's see what naval tactics-
You may. You don't have to.
Luckily, I
give him my leadership.
You can try to do leadership if you want to try to like motivate the crew and act as a good first officer who's like do this, do that.
Yeah,
Lu-
come on,
luck-
Captain, you got this.
Luckily, tactics is something that I can do, and I got an 8 on that.
Oh, nice.
Excellent. So
Tactics is with education.
I'm gonna give you. So normally you would use that for initiative, but I'm gonna give you a single boost dice you can hand out like you would normally do with leadership roll.
Sweet.
Okay. Just
I
remember.
got a 9. Sorry. Go ahead.
So that's going to give you 2 more boost dice you can hand out. So you got 3 total, and you guys can hand them out. I would like to know what Ghost is doing this turn. You fired a missile last turn.
I am going to swap over to the beam laser, and then there's nothing that's within range. So
There's nothing within range, but you also have to remember that you can only shoot out the rear arc of the ship. That
Yeah.
turret. So it is. Since you've rolled good on tactics, this ship is really odd in that its optimal combat configuration is to head towards an enemy and then turn ash for tea kettle and back into the targets, because that's where, if it's above and behind, it is in weapons arc of every weapon you have.
We're gonna twerk our way into this.
It's gonna look a lot like that. It will at least it might confuse the enemy. B, they may be so busy laughing that they don't realize they're in danger until it's too late.
Right.
So
It makes sense. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm going to inform Ray of this maneuver that we're going to pull, where we roll the ship and flip the ship, right before we get in weapons range.
Okay, he's going to be like, but our main thrusters are on the back, so you want me to keep accelerating until we get to that point. Do you want me to decelerate at that point?
Nope, Ray, you got this.
So no, you don't want me to decelerate. Affirmative.
Yep. Affirmative.
So you guys are going to slip right past. It's going to be amazing.
Yep, we're gonna keep moving.
Yeah. Okay, so but you guys are still pretty far away. Okay, so let's see. That's everybody, right?
Yeah, I led,
Mhm.
and then
I am rolling for your missile. I rolled a 9. It is going to
Nice.
hit.
yes, go missile, go.
Okay, let me find this thing real quick. It'll just take a second.
Fucking thing's $100,000. It better better hit.
They're very expensive.
Jeez. Are they heat seeking?
So the missile rack fills the whole rack is 0.75 million credits
Oh,
to refill the whole thing. Oh wait, no, that's to that's to install it. That's to install it. I'll figure out the cost of the ammunition later, but they are very expensive. What I really needed was the damage, which is 4D space damage. Would you like to roll 4D since you fired the missile? It did hit.
you go ahead and roll it because I stepped away. Sorry.
Okay. 4 dice. Let's see. 3 and 3 is 6, plus another 6 is 12, plus another 3 is 15. Let me find this little boat's card. This thing has a hull. Where am I looking for
Blows
this
the
thing?
hole in the hull, and everybody gets sucked out.
I mean, it is going to F this thing up significantly. I just was trying to find... This thing doesn't have a standard card, and I didn't take the time to do the math. Oh, here we go. Hull Poland set has 40, and you just did 15. You do not, however, have to take all 40 away to cripple the ship. But I am going to say that doesn't completely destroy the ship. But it is going to take away a bunch of its hit points. Okay. So you hit it. Debris starts flying out of the side. You have severely damaged this small, fragile spaceship. And this is something that you can tell on sensors just because, suddenly it looks like there's a chaff explosion out of the side, which you guys have seen enough space movies to know that sensor ping is parts of the ship flying out of it, an explosive decompression. So that ship is in trouble. It is still, however, moving towards you.
Now it's time for intimidation tactics.
Yep. Well, now it's time for them to go. And you guys are heading towards them at full speed, and they're heading towards you at full speed. So we are going to move them closer. They are going to move significantly closer. And they're going to start closing in a little bit. They are also going to move down. They realize that it is perhaps not the best idea to be above your ship. Since they have the same thrust rating as you, Ray should be able to keep them at bay, hypothetically, in theory, as long as the dice don't disagree. We're going to say they're functional enough to do one more. So, that, and then do that. Okay. So now we're back to the players' turns. Thodubs, I need an immediate sensors check from you, please.
Immediate sensors check. I rolled an 11.
Okay, we don't need any more than that. So you detect another missile launch from the same ship.
All right, Captain, we got incoming. We got another missile coming in from same ship.
Okay, they're close enough now that it is going to hit this round. It is coming in at extremely high velocity.
This one's really fast and it's not going to be good.
I brace for impact. Defense laser people do the defense laser people thing.
Okay. Kizik,
Homer, stand by to do the Sandcaster thing.
we're ready, Cap. We're gonna let Luca take his shot first.
I got one in the target.
Yep, you got one coming in.
Ooh, that wasn't the best. Rolled a 3 plus 2 is 5 plus 4 is 9.
That is not a 10. You hear, so your laser slices out and just barely misses it, and you immediately hear poop, 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 poop from the Sandcaster as in front of your windscreen there's just this cloud of glittery chaff style sand being pumped all over the front of the ship as basically it fires little canisters that explode like flak. And it's popping all around the ship. You can hear the sounds of the sand against your turret as the impact happens. It's not likely that this is going to significantly slow down the missile, but it will do something, and it's possible it could divert it. I'll have to roll that for it in a moment. But he rolled boxcars, so you are completely covered in the front arc. It will also reduce your outgoing missile damage, so you're going to lose your +4. So let's move on to Thodubs. Thodubs, you have been trying to do your sensor stuff. Are you going to change targets? Are you going to stay on target? Are you going to track while scan? What would you like to do?
Well, we've already kind of identified this. We have an incoming from this one. I am curious what's going on with the other one, so I would like to shift over and do a quick sensors check on the other ship.
Okay, so you're going to shift your sensor lock from the damaged ship to the other ship.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Okay, go ahead and roll your sensors check.
Rolled a 6.
Okay, you've rolled a 6. What's your?
Well, sorry, I didn't roll a 6. I rolled a 5, and then my education value went up 1. So I have a 6.
Can someone check the book for me real quick and see if civilian grade sensors give a +1? I thought they did. I thought basic was 0, although basic might be negative. I don't know.
Did he use the leadership too?
He may use you may use that if you'd like. You got 3 of them to hand out.
So what's that, a boost?
Yeah, basically it adds a boost dice to your roll.
All right, we're running a boost dice. I rolled a 4, so that gave me 7. Put us in an 8.
Okay. So you managed to acquire an actual sensor lock on this other supply boat. It is angling to come in here, and it is turned and burned in such a way that it obviously it thinks you're going to fly between the two of you guys, which I guess technically you are, but its idea is that it wants to angle for what you think might be a docking maneuver.
Hey, Captain, another ship looks like it's doing some type of docking maneuver. Just very odd.
I
So we've done Kizik, we've done Ronan, we've done Thodubs, and Ghost has not had a turn this time around.
That's correct. I don't know if I have anything in my arc.
Well, your missile doesn't have to be in the arc.
Yep, I'm gonna fire another missile.
Okay. Now, in a normal world, you would only fire at the sensor lock target, but if you'd like to fire at the other one, I'll let you do it.
Yes, if I can.
To
target.
I would like a gunnery check for it, though.
Okay.
Because you're no longer just saying take the sensor lock target and push the button.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I got a 9 total.
Okay, you fire a missile successfully at the already damaged ship. Did you want to say something there, Ronan? I heard you start.
I don't think I've done anything this round.
Okay, what would you like to do?
Tell Ray to turn the ship to the right and disregard our last planned maneuver and just go around them, because that will get us turned and going away from them. But go this way.
Okay.
Yep.
The +4, that makes it a 9. He skews the ship in this direction. It's about that far. Did I miss anybody else?
I think that was everybody.
Yeah.
Except our NPCs, if they need to do anything.
And I'm gonna get on the intercom and tell everybody that's available to prepare to repel boarders.
Okay.
Okay, 62.
A blast rocks the side of the ship as Ray is doing his maneuver. The left wing of the ship takes a direct hit for 17 damage. One of you needs to be keeping track of hull damage.
Got it.
Okay. You have 160 total hull points. Your ship is much larger than theirs. The missile that Ghost fired, because you're now close enough that it happens in the same round, just barely also hits. Like the exact number you needed. And it... That's good. So that's 16 more damage to a ship that's already okay, so it's not good for you guys. Or it's not good for them. Let's see. So oh, did I do that wrong? Gee. Times. Okay, that math does come out right. Okay. So that other ship takes a direct hit. There's a ripple explosion from the front to the back. Sodubs couldn't miss it on sensors, even though he's not even pointing at it. The ship is still kind of intact, but it tumbles out of control. It is no longer under its own power. And that's all the missiles done. This guy tries to maneuver in. If you had been where you had originally planned to be, this ship would have been in, like, it would have slid in right where your airlock was. They complete their maneuver, but you are not there anymore. You are now within beam weapon range of this ship.
And conveniently in all arcs of fire.
Not all arcs of fire. It hasn't completely passed you yet, so the tail turret's not going to be able to fire. But the two topside turrets will be able to fire.
That's a 10 to hit.
No, not this guy. This guy's an 8 to hit.
got a 5 plus 2 is a 7. You said I lose my plus 4 because I'm shooting through sand.
Yes, but because he's sensor locked, you get a +1.
For an 8.
Okay. Roll damage for your beam laser. The beam laser does 1d damage +1 for each additional laser. So I believe it's a double turret beam laser. So you do 1d +1.
3 plus 1 is 4.
Okay. That guy is undamaged as of yet, so he takes 4 damage. I'm going to add him this time like a smart person. Okay. Direct hits, you rock some side panels off. You are going to notice that this one, so you can't really see the other boat, but now that you're getting closer to this one, you can kind of make out on your sensor scan the couple of the mechanical differences between them. I also want to point out that at the end of this turn, we're going to go to dogfighting rules. So we're going to go down to 6-second turns, and it's going to be, it's basically going to become a piloting rule where at a severe disadvantage because of size, Ray is going to be trying to keep this ship in the firing arcs that it needs to be for you guys to fight. Okay. Who would like to go now that Kizik is gone?
Is it within my firing arc on the back?
It is not
That's
with. Right. Well, no, it's not within your beam weapon arc. You can fire your missiles. Your missiles don't have a firing arc; they can fire anywhere. However, at this range, they lose their smart trait. So at this range, it's your gunnery roll, and just 4d damage if you hit.
Okay.
And it's 8.
Captain, I've fired 2. They are pretty pricey. What, do you want me to fire another one?
Now it's continue the turn and hit every laser weapon that we have and obliterate this fun and exciting guy.
Okay, then. I'm going to use my turn to track them, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Ray like you did the flying man. Like,
Oh, they're
I'm
not
not gonna
nearly as bad. Assuming Reddit can be trusted, which, that's questionable.
I mean, it's the internet. It must be true.
Right? So, it's $250,000 to refill the whole rack. So, if it's $250,000 to refill the whole rack, that's 250, 1, 2, 3, divide by 12, the capacity of the rack. They are 20,833 credits a pop. So they're not 100k, they're 20k in essence.
Still a lot of money.
Okay.
Still a lot of money, but I just wanted to, put it all in perspective there.
Makes me feel better about firing them.
Yeah. Well, you should not be concerned about money in space combat scenarios, because if you're dead, you can't spend money.
True.
So, okay. So let's see. Ronan went. What did you want Ray to do?
Evasive maneuvers. Like, I'm not gonna tell him what to do anymore.
Okay.
We're in dogfights. He's way better at it than I am. He knows what he's doing.
Okay. And Thodubs.
Well, I mean, I can run another sensors check on the ship. The other ship missed us, so I mean.
So at a bare minimum, you want to maintain your sensor lock. It's not automatic.
Yeah. Well, so we'll maintain the lock.
Okay. I need you to make a roll for that.
Ugh. Got a 4. You there?
Okay. Yep. I'm doing checks. Homer has fired his sandcaster to create a little bit of chaff in between you guys, just in case those guys have beam weapons. And I think I've covered all of the peeps so far that can go. Well, actually, it's not true. Ghost could have gone, but it doesn't want to fire any more missiles, which is understandable. Okay, so they're going to make an attempt to turn and force a boarding action. You guys are now in dogfight rules. Every round is 6 seconds, so very short actions. They rolled a 10. Ray rolled an 8 plus 4, so he rolled a 12. So that's a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. The shuttle, or the supply boat, slips by. It tries very hard to like catch up to the docking ring. It fails to do a force maneuver. Then it fires a harpoon out, and it actually latches to the side of the Perfect Stranger. And it like goes taunt immediately, and it starts reeling itself on a winch in towards the ship. It's very much this ship appears to be designed for boarding purposes. The other ship must be some kind of missile boat, or was some kind of missile boat.
Did I get a shot at any of those times?
It's now your turn. You can make a shot.
So this is now in close range too?
Yep. You guys are in dogfighting. So point blank gives you +1. Plus target lock gives you +1.
6 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 is a 10.
Okay.
Even shooting through the sand.
I was about to say the sand would have dissipated because you're still moving. He was firing it out in this direction, so it wouldn't have necessarily covered yours, so you'll get your +4 as well. And just like other combat rolls, you would carry your effect over to your damage roll.
Yeah, so that's 14.
And then 6d +1 plus your effect.
3 plus 6 plus 1 is 10.
Okay. Let me add that. Okay. You blow some panels off the side of the ship. You've exposed some guts. There's now atmosphere leaking from the side. Beam weapons are very precise weapons, but they don't do a ton of damage. Now that they're reeling in, there's a couple of decisions that need to be made. And Ray is going to, before you guys fully take your turn, he's going to look at the captain and be like, I could just turn into them. We are a lot bigger than they are. It's going to hurt.
How far down are they from like the top of the ship?
By the end of the next turn, they'll have reeled themselves in to where they're going to dock no matter what. Basically, I think Kizik and / Homer will get one more series of shots. Homer can't really do anything.
Are they... They're connected by one?
They're connected by a wire, yes.
Just one wire, though, not at 2 points, just 1 point?
Nope, just 1 point. Also, it is something that it's worth noting that I just mentioned how precise of a weapon Kizik has.
Yep. I'm gonna have Ray go to, like, basically perpendicular, going down to
drag them. Mm-hmm.
So rotating, so we're perpendicular. So one that whatever docking collar that he has won't line up with whatever he's supposed to be with only 1 point of contact, and it should put a better where on his ship is the starting point of the harpoon.
Right next to what appears to be his docking collar. Dubs might be able to get you more information at this range on what that looks like. He's definitely within range of you to maneuver cameras and stuff and do sensor operations to give you a look at it. If if that's something you want to do.
I would like to see it, yes.
All right. So we're trying to get a better look at that.
Yep.
And that gave us a 6.
Okay. With the 6, you're not going to get too good of a look at it. You will know that the harpoon basically has been slatted into a makeshift turret that's right next to the, it's right next to what appears to be their docking collar, and when it reels all the way in, no matter what, that docking collar will be pressed up against your hull.
Okay, I'm gonna have Ray go perpendicular with it, so that our top turrets have a better view, and hopefully that their naked eye can see at that range what they need to shoot at. And then I'm gonna get on the intercom and have so I'm gonna have Junkrat verify structural integrity, because if we've been harpooned, did that breach anywhere?
It's a good question to ask. Junkrat is going to be like, I'm in the engine room, and it hit amidships. I'm not detecting any significant loss of atmosphere. Beyond that, I would have to go and physically inspect the damage. Do you want me to leave the engine room?
Nope. Not yet, anyway.
Okay. So they
That's my
fired.
6 seconds, buddy.
And they came in. Kizik fired at him once, and he's going to get at least one more shot. And or did Kizik go before they harpooned? Have you gone since they harpooned the ship?
As they were harpooning it, I was the first one to go.
Okay, so you've gone.
Yeah.
Ghost, what would you like to do?
I don't have a line of sight on anybody
You don't. And
except for firing missiles, right?
And if you fire a missile at this range, while you probably can hit them, A, if you miss, and it is your gunnery check, it will almost certainly hit the perfect stranger. It'll come around and hit yourself. B, even if you do hit, if they explode at this range, it will cause damage to the ship.
Taylor, grab a
Sorry, go ahead.
grab a gun and go get amidships and prepare to repel boarders.
That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to hit this hoist, come out up here.
Okay.
6 seconds.
Sounds good to me. Is there anything else you want to do that is an immediate action? Because you can talk to the other crew members, and we do have NPCs on board.
Yeah, Gigi, do you know where the harpoon landed?
Gigi's going to be like, yeah, I could hear it hit somewhere around where I'm at, but I don't see any hole in the hull.
Okay. We're going to start clearing rooms, I guess.
Well, they
See
have...
where that thing hit.
Okay. Okay. Let's see who's left. Thodubs did a sensor check for the cameras. Ghost did this. Kizik did the shooting. Ronan did the tactics. Okay, so we're gonna be back on them. So they're gonna continue reeling in. They're reeling in fast, and they are basically now allowing the cable to bring them in, like, as a maneuver. As Ray, hard hits the thrusters trying to yoink it down, it does pull them up right in front of Kizik's turret for just a moment. So Kizik would have an opportunity to have a really good view on the side of the ship. I will give you a free perception check on top of whatever else you want to do if you want to try to take a look at that setup they've got.
Yeah, I'd like to know exactly where I'd like to try to shoot to cut the wire between us.
Okay, that's a given. I'm looking for something specific to give you for the perception check.
All right, then. Let me percept. That's a 4 plus 2, 6.
Okay. We're not too good on the perception check when we're in combat, but that's fine. That's fine.
I see a wire. I'm going to shoot the wire.
Absolutely. So it's a 12 to hit the wire, but you get all your pluses.
Rolled an 8 plus 2 because I'm good at dexterity for a 10, plus 4 is a 14, plus 1 because it's close range is a 15, plus a sensor's lock. I guess I don't have a sensor's lock on the rope.
No, you wouldn't have one on the
Suggest a
rope.
15.
Okay. Well, carry over your affected damage. I'm going to carry the damage over into the ship because obviously you do not have to do a significant amount of damage to cut the rope.
4 plus 3 plus 1 is 8.
Okay. You've shot at this thing enough on the side that actual hull plates are starting to come loose, and you're going to see parts of the inside slide away enough to realize that this supply boat is basically a makeshift boarding craft designed to carry troops into boarding scenarios, which is something you've already kind of deduced. You're also going to slice that cable cleanly, and because at the time Ray was in a high G maneuver, it's going to slingshot the supply boat out. And I'm going to go ahead, because he hasn't got to do anything yet, and say it flies behind the ship. So if Ghost wants to run back to his turret, he might have an opportunity to use his turret.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm gonna turn
You
back
got
around.
this.
I got it. I rush in and I fucking pull the trigger.
Okay. I was about to say, I'm going to let you just do it because you haven't had the opportunity to yet. Go ahead and roll. So you're using a triple turret. You have 2 turrets back there. One is 2 lasers and a missile launcher. The other turret is just 3 lasers.
All right, so it's the 3 laser one.
Okay.
I rolled a 6. I've got 1 in gunner.
Okay.
The triple laser has a +4, so 6 plus 5 total, 11.
Mm-hmm.
To hit.
Okay. And it is a 1d6 plus 2 for your triple turret damage. Plus your
And then I
effects.
add my effect.
Yes.
And it was 8 to hit him.
Yes.
Okay. Is that 9 damage total? Kizik, did I do that right? I rolled a 6, and then my effect was 2 plus. Well, hold on.
You
Plus
get
2.
2 because you got 3 turrets.
Oh,
Should be a 10.
okay.
Then you still
Not
have
that
your
much.
6.
Yeah.
And then you get your plus 2 because you got a 10.
Right.
So that makes it up to an 8. And then you get another
Uh-huh.
2 because it's a triple turret.
Gotcha. 10. Yep.
Okay. So 10 more damage. So you're going to completely cripple this ship. How does it go down? And I'll even give you the storytelling prerogative to tell me how many casualties there are.
Oh, God. All right.
The answer to that is total.
Oh, I was going to do it the other way. I shoot it in the... I cripple it in the engine, but the life support system is still on, so they're... all 13 on board are still alive, but they're slowly going to run out of air unless somebody saves them.
Okay, that's actually pretty similar to the other supply boats scenario.
Predicament.
Yeah, their power plant took a direct hit and their ship is without power.
Space claims another 26 lives. The slow... yeah, that's awful.
Where are the other escorts?
The other escorts are just now catching up to where you're at. They could fire if they wanted to. It's also worth noting that they can only actually hold 6 on board each. So there's fewer. So there's 6 on board the Marine one with 4 mercenaries in heavy armor, and then a pilot and a gunner. And then the other supply boat's just a pilot and a gunner and a whole bunch of missiles.
Well, I hope they can eat each other.
Yeah, well, I mean, they might get to that, but they'll probably run out of air first because they are leaking. So if you're not going to say anything to the escorts, I'm going to roll to see if they finish these ships off.
Fucking pirates.
That's what they're thinking.
Let them kill these guys. Then it's not on my conscience.
Everybody
No,
good?
I'm a goody two shoes. That's a terrible idea.
Is everybody good with this? I just want to know if I should roll for them.
I'm saying nothing.
Captain, I've disabled the ship. It looks like life support's still on though, so they're alive.
You get to that point in your
Oh,
sentence before a series of missiles from the other escorts hit the one closest to you, and they hit its fuel tank. And the destruction is total. There is no part of that ship that's bigger than a thimble left. The other escort is burning hard towards the other one that's out of control.
Captain, I was wrong. They are no longer alive.
Aye.
And after just a few more moments, a number of high-powered pulse lasers cut into the other one, and it's gone too.
Yay!
Oh man,
Yay.
we could have taken intel from why they were chasing us. Like we knew the counterintelligence, but we're still alive.
Why do you have these thoughts after the fact?
No.
Because I was shooting a laser. Like that thing was caught into the side of our thing, and I cut the fishing line
That's
while
true.
spinning at 150 miles an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Ray,
right
you
above
drinking down there?
a barrel
So-
roll? That was cool.
Realize if we tried to save one of them for intel purposes, that would completely give away any thought that we're not just an armed freighter.
Armed freighter who's going to just take a little bit of extra stuff from a ship that was pirates.
Yeah, it's kill the pirates and move on.
Kill the pirates. Let's move on.
Because otherwise, why would we? If they're pirates, why would we stop and we're free from the danger? Why would we go and
Because their ship has stuff and we have holds that we can put stuff in.
But we don't have holds that we can put stuff in because they're full.
They don't know that.
Captain, permission for a cigar. Celebratory.
Aye.
For killing all them pirates.
Immense.
I'm going to take a
Cigar.
couple of minutes to take a quick bio, and I'll be right back.
Shakingly pull out a very foul-smelling cigar.
I will also be right back.
I'm gonna go sit down in the crew gathering area by myself. I'm gonna put in a movie. Cybernetic utopia.
Get in your vac suit and go check out where that thing hit us. Or where it hit the wing.
Junkrat is a better mechanic than me. And all I can do is kill people now.
Or you didn't kill anybody. You released some missiles. Those missiles might have killed somebody. And then you disabled the engines of a ship. And then a whole bunch of other missiles killed those other people.
It's very true. I can't take that lightly. So I'm gonna sit here in silence.
Also, you were killing bad guys. They were coming to kill us.
No, they were coming to bounty us.
With missiles?
It's not a live or dead situation, right?
With
It's-
missiles?
They did shoot missiles at us, but maybe that was to get on board so that they could arrest us. That was their plan, right?
I mean, they're spies. Their job was to take us. Also, they're spies, and the one spy that we caught and let go from them liked that so much that she didn't blow up the ship. That's such a foreign concept to her that a spy was good.
Right.
They're
Yeah,
spies.
New
just kill.
Bern is pretty crazy though. I hand you the cigar. Here, hit this.
Oh, we're both back in the turret section.
It's got two
That's
seats
smoking
because
right
it's got two
next.
turrets.
Yeah.
I gotta reload missiles.
You do need to reload missiles. You have 1 ton of spares, which is 1. So basically, you had 24. You spent 3. You should make sure that we're keeping track of that. I think you fired 3.
I did.
You need to dupe one of these counters and put it back there.
Also, the missiles have to be reloaded by hand, which Junkrat would already be doing because her heavy vac suit has strength assistance. So she's able to pick the missiles up with a lifter. Also, K62
Yeah, I
would
was
be
gonna
able,
ask.
K62 would be able to help because he can just, they can do it without exerting themselves too much. But you guys
That's
are
why we're just in the
you're
turret
just in the
smoking.
turret smoking cigars as they're sliding missiles in.
Discussing the morality of the people that just expired.
Yeah. Metagame, they were not necessarily morally good characters, but they were also pawns. You were lamenting not bringing them in for intel, which is a good thought to have, and I would give you a player point because you actually thought of it. However, they wouldn't have been able to give you any good intel, and that's standard tradecraft for Nyburn to use people like this to do their dirty work that don't know what they're doing. So, you guys rejoin the fleet. The convoy, master, leader, the coordinator of the main ship, would call commander. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. He'd call over and be like, "That was fantastic work. You guys did a great job. I can't believe a pirate group that size would try to raid us. But
Earned our money.
yeah, it's a great job. I'm gonna when we get to the other end, I'm gonna see if I can put you guys in for a bonus."
Nice.
We could use some repairs to get our wing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone with this hook.
Why don't you pull alongside one of our freighters and we'll dock with you and see if we can, analyze your hull. You did take a little damage. We can kind of see it from here.
Yeah, we should fix it before we try to jump.
Absolutely. So, guys are going to pull up to one of the big freighters. While not nearly as sleek looking or combat worthy or anything like that, it's basically just a bunch of super large cargo containers that are strung together on metal pylons to an engine section. But you dock with it, and its relative size gives you a nice stable platform. How do you want to do the damage assessment, damage control?
Junkrat and I can go out in vac suits and take a look at where the hook hit. And we are trailing wire somewhere.
You are trailing a wire where the hook hit. Also, you took a missile hit to your fuel tank on that side.
What's the computer say about that? Are we leaking fuel out of that?
Well, you're the engineer.
God damn it.
Go
Okay.
check it out.
I'm gonna go do my job.
Also, there's another way you can do damage control that is pretty standard, which is to launch your ship's launch and have like the captain and one of the pilots in the ship's launch visually assessing the outside from a distance.
I'll be right there. Hold on.
Yeehaw!
My shoulder.
What's
I
your
finished my foul smelling guitar or cigar?
Hmm?
Oh, vac suit.
vac suit. Whoa! Before you vac suit, weren't you going to check the computer? Weren't you going to?
Yes. It's an engineering role, right?
Yes, it is. In this case, engineering power systems.
I have a 0. Junkrat. I rolled a 9. I have a 2 plus 2, so
There's
11.
a small fuel link in that tank. There's definitely fuel coming out, and the system has automatically stopped feeding fuel to that tank from the reserve tanks that are in the main. So basically the way it normally works is fuel flows from these tanks into the engines. It has cut off flow from these tanks back and forth.
Hey, Captain, would you maybe consider back feeding the fuel from 14 left to maybe 23 for a little bit? And then I can go out and work on it. Junkrat, bring the foam. We're going to need that. And if you guys want to go out on the shuttle, I know how you like to micromanage. I can't
Yeah.
say that out loud.
Oh, I love micromanaging you. It's like the highlight of my day.
So Taylor and Junkrat are going to magnetically grapple to the outside of the hull and spacewalk while being drugged.
Yes.
So the engines have to be cut off. So Ray's going to cut the engines off. And you're being drugged now basically by your umbilical that's connected to the bigger ship along with the fleet that is still moving because movement in and of itself is a defense. So the convoy never stops. So you're going to have to spacewalk using your vac suit skill out to the actual fuel line. Luca, if you want to give me a piloting check, tell me how close you want to get. I'm assuming that you're going to go look for the harpoon.
Yep. I'm driving real good. Oh, I'm driving real good. Rolled a 10. Plus 2 plus 1 is a 13. So I'm getting like almost uncomfortably close to the rest of the ship.
You're making
looking for this harpoon.
You're making the captain nervous.
Trust him.
I mean, he's right there looking for it as well.
Okay.
We've got a flashlight.
You guys are definitely going to find the harpoon. Taylor, how many times has Taylor spacewalked like this? I mean, in deep space on the outside of the hull.
Twice.
Okay. So Junkrat's an old hand at this, and she just is snapping all of her pieces together. And she's going to be like, "You sure you don't want to go upstairs and go out the main airlock? I mean, we can go out this lock, but it's going to vent this part of the ship."
No, I think we should definitely go out the main airlock. Sorry, I was just over here getting my lucky charm. Sorry. Yeah, Junkrat, let's go out the main one.
Okay. So you guys come out this one, and you're going to have to walk over the top of the hull of the ship. Go ahead and give me your vac suit check. And then describe to me your walk across the hull.
Okay, my vac suit is that an intellect?
Vac suit for this particular thing is dexterity.
Damn. Okay, so I got a 10 total. Because I have a 1 in vac suit, I rolled a 9. And when I get out of the airlock, because I'm following Junkrat out, I have safety clips that I immediately clip to the safety hooks on the outside of the door.
Yep.
And then I let out my lanyard a little bit, and I activate my magnetic boots and clink it down on the outside of the hull. I move very slowly. Junkrat's probably about a foot ahead of me.
I'm gonna say that, because she rolled boxcars. I'm gonna say that at first she just starts striding out there, and she's actually moving her umbilical, like she's connecting a new one and releasing her old one, like hopscotching ahead. But she gets about 20 feet further down the hull and is like, "Oh shit, he's not here," and then realizes you need help. And she walks back and is like, "Hey, you want to buddy up?" And she puts her grapple into your vac suit so that you two are now grappled together.
Junkrat, I appreciate it. I'm actually afraid of being outside here, so thank you.
She's like, most sane people are, but you get used to it, and she's going to help you. So you may take a boost on your checks to move across. You just need one more check as long as you pass it. The captain and Kizik, who are in the ship's launch, do not need a check to find this harpoon stuck in the side of the mid tank. The good news is that it doesn't appear to be leaking.
What do you want to do, Captain? You want to try to turn and burn it off, or you want to tell the other guys that they're already on the outside of the ship?
Does it look like it punctured the tank and then it's being held? It's plugged because the thing is still there.
While Kizik has been able to get you uncomfortably close to this thing, what would be the proper thing to do now would be to get into a vac suit and give it an actual, go tug on it. Go, see what's going on up close and personal.
Sounds like fun.
And if you wanted to pull it out, I'm just going to go ahead and say that this is a liquid hydrogen tank, and turning and burning your engines towards it
That's a bad plan.
It's a really bad plan. But
We
that
just
doesn't
burn it
mean
off.
that doesn't mean you couldn't attach it to your ship and try to yank it free as long as it hasn't penetrated too deep.
You getting in a vac suit? We got a vac suit
Ah.
here.
Yeah,
No,
I'll get.
oh, okay.
Now you guys are fixing the fuel stuff. We got this.
That's true.
So
Except
speaking
we don't
of,
have tethers or anything like that.
well, yeah, of course you do. Every vac suit has at least 2 sets of tethers.
Yeah, but we're on the other ship. Anyway,
You would not
I'm
get
going
into a
out there.
launch without a vac suit.
No, not the vac suit. Like I'd have to tether to the one ship, jump across to the other ship, then move my tether over to the other ship.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but there's a bunch of rope and stuff out there. You'll be all right, Captain.
Oh, I'll be all right. This is what I do.
that's the fun part.
Like, it's like the one skill that I have. It's boarding other ships.
I turn around and you're already in your vac suit, and I'm like, oh man,
He has a fancy one too. It has a flamethrower now.
Yeah.
he's gonna burn it off himself.
Yeah.
Taylor takes like 20 minutes to get into his, and you're in it before I can turn around in my swivel chair.
I mean, that is what I did for a living before coming out to do this GIA stuff. All right, I'm gonna go do this.
Give me a vac suit check.
Yeehaw! Let's see if I can roll above a 6.
Though Dubs, you find yourself on the bridge. And Ray is like concentrating super hard. And he's like, hey, I have to concentrate on not killing the rest of the crew. Is there any way that you could go through and check for any internal damage while they're, doing what they're doing? Because they're not necessarily going to know if we suddenly start decompressing.
No, I can definitely do that.
Okay. How would you like to go about doing that, though, Dubs?
So we're just gonna start checking. We want to check for internal damage, right? We've already found like that. Okay.
We're looking for signs of them decompressing either the fuel tank or the atmosphere.
Hmm. I actually have. Well, that would involve. Could I actually go through and do a life support check on that and actually check out the systems on there?
Yes, that's exactly what you do.
Yeah. Okay. I was saying instead of running like room to room or something like that. Yeah. So let's. I'm going to do like a systems check on the life support systems and see if there's any issues or any types of warnings or anything like that are showing up in the system.
All right, I think we got everybody making checks now. We're having made checks now.
So we rolled a 10 on the engineering check for life support systems.
Okay. I'll give you the results in a second. Ghost,
Bobby?
you passed your vac suit jaunt out?
Yeah, I got a 10.
Excellent. You're at the fuel thing. This missile has wreaked havoc on the outer part of the hull. Armor plating is peeled away. I mean, it's kind of a horror show out here. The plating's black and peeled, and it looks like dried, dehydrated banana peel where this missile hit. And then there's an inner skin that it was meant to absorb a lot more, and you can see that there are several small holes in the inner skin that you could use a ship's patch kit to patch.
Hey, Junkrat, I got this this patch kit here. These small holes on the innards. I'm gonna go ahead and patch this.
She's like, okay, do you want me to help with any of that, or just tether you off?
It's you should give me a hand. You're better at this than I am, really. I'm gonna give you my leadership check, and you're gonna roll this.
So you're going to have her do it, and you're going to be her anchor?
Yes.
Okay. So I need a vac suit check from you.
Oh boy. Not bad. An 8.
All right, you guys are going to be working on this. Let me roll Junkrat's real quick, and then we're going to switch over to the captain and Luca and see how they're
Yep.
getting on.
I got an 11.
So you roll over to this thing. You don't know how long this harpoon was, but as you pull yourself up to the hull, you can tell that while there's nothing coming out, there might be if you just yank this thing free. You have a limited number of options here. You can either roll and I'll tell you what they are, or you can, just tell me what you'd like to do.
Is it possible for me to basically cut the harpoon off at the side of the ship and weld the part of the harpoon that's in the ship into the ship?
That
It's
is
sort of like
yeah, that is absolutely. That's not only possible. That's probably the best course of action, although it is a temporary fix.
concur.
Okay, so you have a number of tools at your disposal. It's a mechanics check to cut this thing off.
We're gonna get somebody that's not me out here.
You're not going to do it yourself, but you're already here. I thought you were adventuring.
Yeah, I board things and kill things and then blow them up. Not necessarily that in that order. Like mechanic is -3. Let's not push our luck when we're talking about the side of the ship.
I
Okay.
have a 2.
I know what my strengths are, and this is not it.
Pulls out his shotgun and just starts shooting at it.
Oh, I can
Saw
do
it
that.
off, yeah.
That's funny because you say you have a 2 of mechanics there, Ghost. You asked Junkrat to do the mechanical thing while you're doing the vac suit thing. She has a 1 in vac suit and a
I
1.
thought this would be like an engineering role.
No, so you're patching a physical hull piece. This is a
Makes
mechanics
sense.
role. You're not working on a system.
That's me being silly.
I mean, if you'd like to retcon it to be a little bit more optimized, we can do that.
Sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. You can give me a mechanics roll for that. Okay, so we're also going to need you to come over here and cut this thing. And with Thodubs running around on the inside, he passed his check, so he's going to notice that the fuel leakage is going to stop, assuming you pass your check.
Yep, that was a 9.
Okay. And just for the sake of, timeliness, we'll just get another roll for the other part.
Junkrat and I head over to the hook. And that's a 10.
Okay, so you've effectively repaired the physical damage. Repairing the hull damage is going to be a little bit more complicated. But since the launch is right here, you can all just come back in the launch.
Keep the rest of that harpoon. That's a story to tell someone.
Oh yeah, we should put it up on the wall.
Okay, you can definitely take the harpoon and make a little trophy out of it.
Obi-Wall.
Oh, make it into a lamp. Like it's got the hook part coming down, and we'll put a bulb hanging off the end.
Like the rope hanging from the ceiling like a chandelier.
There you go.
I think we got a plan here.
All right.
Luca,
Hop back in.
yeah, Luca, give me a roll to scoop up your friends and bring the whole thing back in without killing everyone. Go ahead.
It's only a 10.
Go ahead and roll snake eyes so I can holes.
It's only a 10. Sorry, only a 9 was off.
Okay. All right. So you guys follow back in with the convoy. That was very exciting. And they're ready to make the jump to Sturgeon's Law. Question is, are you guys ready to make the jump to Sturgeon's Law?
I don't know.
Yeah, let's get the fuel ships working right. We got no more leaks, so we gotta set our fuel up the right way. Do you want a J engines check? You guys back there, engineers?
We'll go back and set back up. She is a better engineer than me, hands down, so she should make the engineer checks.
And this check is for what purpose?
I mean, they didn't get hit, but anytime a missile hits, you just make sure that they're in, like, working before we
So
jump 'em.
it's just a standard, like, diagnostic check.
Yeah.
Junkrat's going to come back and be like, no, I mean, the engines are in great shape. Everything worked as advertised. I mean, we took a direct missile hit to the fuel tank and we didn't explode. So it's a good day.
It is a good day.
So the fuel is now out of, or it's back in the wing.
Yeah, the fuel is never out of the wing because, you know, you were like, hey, can we reverse that pump? That's already a full tank. It didn't know where to go.
Okay, gotcha.
So, yeah, I mean, that's a tank that had fuel in it.
I thought that had pumped down in our jump.
Actually,
here.
well, when
This
when you spin up for a jump, you would use one of them for each jump. So I guess technically you could have pumped it all the way into here.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I guess you could have, but the regardless of that, it wouldn't have pumped fast enough for what you were doing. Like to empty the tank. That's one of the reasons you have an FTL spool down. Like it's hundreds of gallons.
Gotcha.
I don't know that it actually happens that fast. Okay,
I'm
so
doing my cranes, I'll tell you that.
but I rolled her check. Everything with the engines is fine. Was there anything else you guys liked?
We got our missiles refueled or reset up. We got a little bit of damage taken. I think we're ready to go. What about you, Captain?
I concur. I think we're ready to go.
Okay. You guys remember the order in which you have to do things in order to jump?
Astrogate.
Flies to the right spot.
Astrogation. Okay, we ready to astrogate then? Is that we did finish all our checks?
Yeah, that's what the rest of the jump crew says.
Copy.
I'll
Okay,
be right back.
copy. So we have a 5 minutes for astrogation time? That's what we got?
Well, it's if you rolled a 5, then it's 50 minutes. It's 1d6 times 10 minutes.
Well, I rolled a 6, and then it was a minus on my education, which went down to 5.
That's not how that works.
Did I do it wrong?
Yes. It's 1d6 to tell you how long it takes.
Yep.
Plus
that's what
your
I got.
astrogation score, and you use the skill it designates, which is your education.
Okay.
So in your case, with an astrogation of 0, you get a +1 because of your education to your roll.
Okay. And that's to my actual. That's for the astrogation calculation.
Yes, that's for the actual astrogation calculation.
Yeah, that's for the pass fail. Gotcha. Okay. So with that being said, I rolled a 7, adding a 1, which it turns into an 8.
Okay, you only need a 4 to pass, so you take an effective 4 and pass that on to whoever's doing the J drive check.
Sounds good.
And the captain gives the order, and then the person does the J drive check, which you can technically roll the J drive check ahead of time. The captain giving the order is just a formality. But, yeah.
Good.
Taylor watches Junkrat do it.
I do.
Okay, well, Junkrat rolled a 9, plus her actual rank in J drive, because that's her specialty. Plus her education gives it a 11 plus 4 effect, whereas a 15. So it is a good jump.
Yay!
And you guys
Size.
enter jump space. All right, so you guys are in jump space. What would you guys like to do during your week of jump space? There's nothing abnormal that I rolled on the chart that is going to happen from an outside event, so it's just driven by what you guys want to do. We're going to start again with Dodubs because he's been awful quiet.
So we're gonna do more astrogation here. So I'm gonna try and get another weekend. So that puts me from 4 to 5.
Okay. You're working on getting that 8.
I am.
Anything social you want to do? Or you just eating Hawaiian pizza and studying astrogation?
Yeah, watching movies, eating pizza, drinking booze, that kind of thing.
Okay. Kizik, what are you doing?
Me and Ray are continuing to talk about brokering. We're telling more streetwise war stories. How I had to hide things in like false bottom of my little bunk so that I could keep selling those uppers to make people happy when I was in the Navy.
Okay. And so you're going to do some more bonding with Ray, and you're going to up your broker. Ronan, what are you doing?
This week's lesson for Homer is rocket launchers.
All right. Have you gotten to 8 yet?
No, this will make 5.
Okay, so you're basically at the same place that Dodub's is at.
Yep.
Okay. Ghost, what's Taylor doing?
A62. I challenged the.
Excellent. So we're gonna have another midweek bout.
Yes.
Who's betting? Just so you know, Ray wants to up the bet to 300 credits.
You said a double or nothing if he lets him fight back.
Yeah. Well, that's more than double. He wants to 300. So K62 is like, how would you like to spar today?
Same as before, K62. I really like the random. So like I have to work on my defenses. So.
Would you like
with that?
Absolutely. Would you like to initiate?
Sure.
Okay. Make your roll.
Here we go. Go easy on me, K62. I got an 8 total.
Okay. You are going to successfully hit. However, K62 rolled snake eyes. So that is a critical failure on his part in some way, shape, or form. I'm going to read it a little bit, saying that when you swing your cutlass, the sheath flies off, and the raw blade actually takes K62's left arm off at the elbow.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, K62. Shit.
K62 holds up his nub of a left arm and is like, well, I suppose it is fortunate that it is me that happened to.
Yes, I'm sorry. Oh, that was a complete accident, K62. That was, let me help you with that. Can I help him with a mechanics roll?
Yeah, actually, you're really familiar with working on these. These were standard droids back in the Alliance, and you have replaced many of their limbs through wear and tear over the years. So it's
over the intercom, you'll hear, "No one saw that."
Right, that counts, right?
So, Ray's gonna be like, no, it's like I have to go 3 rounds. That's only the first round. He's gonna fix his arm. It's totally we're gonna have more. You want to roll me a mechanics check?
I got a 10 on it.
Okay, so you can weld this thing back together. It does take about an hour for you to totally get him back together, but it's such a clean cut that all you had to do was re-weld some pieces and solder some cables. He's got a little metal band-aid where you've welded everything back together.
I also checked the clasp on the sword sheath.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, that's not going to happen, K62. Do you want to continue?
Absolutely. It's only a minor inconvenience, and it's not the first time I've had a limb need repair during an episode. I believe that round goes to you.
Oh, I don't want to win that way, K62, but thank you. That's very sportsmanlike.
It is now
All
my turn to initiate, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Go ahead and do your roll.
Hiya! I got a 9.
Ooh. Okay. K62 starts running at you, not very gracefully. And he pulls up short. And he tries to kick you in your testiculars, which your manly instinct to defend your nuts kicks in, and you sidestep back and successfully defend against the attack.
Who fights like that, K62?
That profile is for human pirates.
Of course it is. Wow. Okay. That's okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Ray's like, God damn it, that's the second one. And he hands over some credits.
Yes, you hear in the intercom. I knew we could do it.
But we do still have that third round to go. And K62 is like, still random, or would you like to try a specific type of opponent? You seem to have difficulties against Vargar. We could try that again, or I can stay on random.
Yeah, the Vargar were scary. Let's try that.
Very well. I believe it is your turn to initiate.
Oh boy. Okay. Uh, 9.
Okay. So how do you attack?
Well, it's I'm assuming that he's in Vargar mode. And last time, he used his bare hands to try to go for my neck. So this time I'm going to slip in, guarding, my upper body a little bit more. And as I see him move, to strike, I'm going to come in, basically thinking that he's going to do it, and then he does it.
Okay. Well, he rolled a 10, so...
Oh, shit. He grabs my neck.
Yeah. Basically, it's a similar thing. Now realize he's using his hands to simulate having jowls, like having a bite. So he's very particular about the way in which he will grab you. He won't use his reach to do it. With all of that said, he actually just tries to barrel you down. Like he goes on all fours, gets a running start, and plows right into you to get you down to the ground. At which point he completely disregards the use of the stick and goes for another bite attack, which he is a little successful at. And the only note that I will say is that it isn't raw strength, it's dexterity. Like he writhes and moves in ways that make it hard for you to come to grips with him.
Yeah, that's hard. It's difficult.
All right, so you got 2 out of 3. He got 1 out of 3. This time you walked away uninjured, but he didn't. So, yeah, little beauty mark on K62's left arm.
Really, sorry about that, K62. Shouldn't happen again.
It's not an issue. I've had several modifications over the course of my service history. I don't remember any of them, but I can tell through running diagnostics that I've been patched together and had parts replaced many times.
Do you have dates for all of that?
Not specific ones. When I run a diagnostic, it will tell me that, just like with the arm being disconnected and reconnected, that there's a loss of efficiency when a part is put back on. I also have non-standard mount points for wearing human-based armor plating, so I was obviously used for combat at some point.
Well, that's good to know, though. How do you feel about that now?
I am fully capable, after your modifications, of serving in a combat role if the need to defend the ship arises, or any other scenarios.
Okay, so we were just in one of those scenarios. Would you have helped us out there?
I was prepared to repel boarders when the captain gave the all-hands command to repel boarders.
Awesome.
Being alone down here in the cargo bay, I had a slightly non-standard approach to how I intended to defend the ship.
Oh, what do you mean?
I don't need to breathe.
Oh, so okay. I offer him my fist bump, and then okay, K62. And as I walk out, I leave the lights on.
Okay. And that's going to be the conclusion of our stuff done in jump space. You guys are going to prepare to revert to real space above the world of Sturgeon's Law.
This place sucks.
This place does suck. So the convoy will drop out, and I'm not going to go too much into detail because you all are already in kind of battle positions. I mean, who wants to give a brief description of Sturgeon's Law? You guys have read up on it a little bit now.
Brief?
Yes, brief as in like give me the Cliff Notes version of why Sturgeon Law sucks.
So from what I remember, right? Because I'm not reading this verbatim, the settler ship that was going to Sturgeon's Law crash landed there, and at the last second they landed in this fucking water, which was good because everywhere else has this fucking mold on it that absolutely destroys everything. So they land in this water. Most of them die. A couple engineers live, and it turns out that like max 30,000 people survive this crash landing, and they rebuild this settlement. And then like faster, or I'm sorry, the FTL shit shows up, and they're like, "Oh my god, thank God!" They try so hard to get people to, but like nobody wants to leave. So it's a weird place. Nobody comes in and nobody comes out.
But that is kind of it. They want commerce and they want to trade with people, but they don't really want to leave. And most visitors are not really interested because they have kind of a strange culture, having evolved around the survival scenario that they're in. They live very Spartan lives as far as like stuff goes, and their most valued possessions are like their tools. Also, how valuable you are as a technical person is your status in their society. Their president is referred to as the captain, and their vice president is the chief engineer. So they have a very weird society to outsiders. With all that said, like anyone else, like they want to have trade with other people. They know that there's other life out there. You guys, on the other hand, are just planning on scooping some fuel, as is the rest of the convoy. You guys have never done refueling operations before. This should be fun.
Captain, do you know what to do? Have you read the pamphlet?
Yes, I stand here on the bridge and I say, commence refueling operations, and then I go back to my stateroom. And then somebody tells me when it's done.
I mean, just because of that, I am now looking up how to do this.
Sorry.
I am also looking and have been trying to find out how to do this.
I mean, it's obviously a piloting check or 5.
It is just a piloting check. I'm just trying to find the difficulties and stuff because there's a little bit to it. It's a task chain. I think it's actually in the High Guard book, which is why I'm not finding it. In the core rulebook, which is the book that I keep handy right beside me, I'll need to go get my PDF copy of the High Guard book. It's High Guard's way over there on a bookshelf.
Page 157.
On core rulebook?
Yes.
Yup, top left corner of 157.
Well, I was in there, and I didn't see anything about how to do scooping.
A ship with fuel scoops may gather fuel from bodies of water using hoses. It may also scoop hydrogen from a gas giant, requiring a difficult 10 plus pilot check, 1D hours and dex. Fuel gathered in the wild is unrefined, but a ship with fuel processors may refine it. Note: more notes on fuel scooping are covered in the Traveler Companion.
Traveler Companion. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, I knew all of that. That's not detailed enough information. Good to know. We had a boop. Did someone leave? Come back?
We lost Todubs.
Wonder if he even realizes it. There we go. This is what we wanted. Okay, so there's different layers of the gas giant. Oh, we lost him in Discord too, didn't we?
Yep.
He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. Thudub said something really insulting to Gigi, and now he's in his own personal little hell.
He's back.
Hey, you guys there?
Yeah, sure is.
Yes.
Yes.
The heck was that? Okay, sorry about that.
Oh, good.
Things fired back up.
We were just making fun of what might have happened to your character.
Oh, okay.
So the most outer layer of a gas giant is called the Wisp. 2 is extremely shallow. It is possible to skim fuel in the shallows, but it takes 10 times longer. Okay. No penalty to piloting checks. The shallows are reasonably safe to operate in, allowing for skimming fuel at half the normal rate. Orbital decay is in 2D hours. You get -1 to your pilot check to do your scoops from the shallows, where you can go deep. Fuel skimming in commercial exploitation, such as petrochemical harvesting, is normally done in the deep zone. Skimming at the normal rate, and conditions tend to be sufficiently turbulent that pilot checks are made at -2 DM. A vessel that loses power in the deeps will start to fall immediately, hitting the top of the extreme deep layer in 2D minutes. See, that's the information you need. Fuel skimming right here. Fuel skimming takes a number of passes during which the ship opens its scoops and forces gas into them by moving fast through the atmosphere or by simply pointing into the wind. The ship can skim fuel equal to 1% of its hull tonnage per pass, with a pass typically requiring 2D minutes. Thus, a vessel wanting to obtain 20% of its hull tonnage in fuel in a deep layer will need 20 passes, averaging about 7 minutes each, for a total of 140 minutes. Skimming would take twice as long in the shallow layer, but would also be safer. So the first decision that has to be made when you guys are skimming fuel is, where are you going to skim from?
That depends on how much time the fleet's giving us.
The fleet is going to give you as much time as you want because it's going to take them so much longer to fuel than you because they're so much larger. Also, they have to use shuttles. Like, the big commercial tankers cannot get into the atmosphere. They have to send fuel shuttles down into the gas giant to gather up the fuel and then bring it back. You're going to be refueled days before the fleet is refueled.
Then I don't
Should
see
stay
any.
in the shallows.
Yeah, there's no reason to push it.
Okay. So now we need that -1 DM piloting check. And just to make it more fun, I'm going to say Raymond's caught a stomach bug. And he's stuck on the fresher.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah, that brandy went right through him.
Finally. Maybe he won't touch my fucking... Sorry. Never mind.
That's a 9.
Ooh, okay. Would you like to use a player point to make that near miss a success?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So that's per pass. How many tons of fuel are we skimming? You need 20 tons per scoop, I think, per tank.
We need 40 tons to be able to jump to fill up what we're missing.
Okay. And you can get 1% of 400 tons per scoop. How many passes is that?
1% of 400 is 4 when you 4 times 10 passes.
10 passes. So you're going to have to keep making checks.
That's 11.
Okay.
12.
So to make this easier, I do want all you to make all those checks, but I only need to know if you fail by 6 or more. And those dice are good. I want those dice.
Yeah, right? And as soon as we said that,
That's still a pass.
yep.
Well, it might not be a pass. It might be a fail, but it's just barely a fail. So if it's just barely a fail, that pass just doesn't collect fuel. But if it's 6 or more, then we're going to have issues. And then we're going to have fun. Cutting it close a couple times. Good?
Yep.
Okay,
Now
so
we gotta.
we've got a bunch of unrefined fuel on board. It's for the ship's engineers to run the onboard refineries to refine the fuel. Technically, they run automatically, so this is not going to require checks. But just know that at least Junkrat, probably Taylor too, maybe even Aiden would be involved in very tedious turning of valves, basically siphoning things in and out of the fuel refineries to get everything refined and in the proper tanks to refuel. All in all, this process is going to take about 10 hours. No, you guys are refining 40, so it's going to take 40 hours.
Hey guys,
Hey, what's up?
my game tabletop keeps dying on me, so I'm gonna try and do a reboot here real quick. I've already tried doing several other things. That's the last option, but let me just to let you know, I'm gonna bop out here a second. I'll come back in.
Okay, no problem. So you guys are going to be doing some 40 hours worth of refining of fuel. It's dirty work. You're going to be genesing the waste product out of the ship. So, it's going to look like the ship's taking a dump. At the end of the day, you're going to be all refined. Now, you have to wait for the rest of the fleet to finish tanking off. And there's not a ton of stuff to get up to on this in this system, but there are a couple of things. First and foremost, there's a little bit of commercial traffic doing the same thing you're doing. So you could go from ship to ship, and you could you could try to have poker night on a ship or something. You could go down to the planet in your launch and have a look-see at Sturgeon's Law, but like you all said, it sucks down there. Or you can just pass the time in relative, I'm just going to sit here and wait for the ships to fuel up, and watch TV or whatever, in which case we'll fast forward to when they're done fueling up.
We don't want to go down there. I could handle you guys want to do a poker night?
Go do a heist. Let's go steal Sturgeon Law stuff. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm gonna watch Firefly and hang out with Junkrat.
Okay.
And K62.
Oh yeah, 62 can watch too.
K62 has a theory that River's actually a robot.
Oh, good theory, K62. Except she ages.
Biorobots age.
I'm sorry, what?
Biorobots age.
K62, we're gonna hang out for a little while. You need to tell me about biorobots.
You don't know about biorobots?
No, what are biorobots?
It depends on which class of biorobot you're talking about. Some biorobots are just like you, except for their brains are robots. And their fleshy bits are former inmates. And those are unpolitely referred to as zombies. Others are manufactured beings where their bodies are cloned and their entire thinking is synthetically created. Only advanced and highly advanced worlds would make something like that, but basically they can create a human being as a manufactured entity rather than as a birth. Or other species, it's not just humans. And there are several other variants on the theme, but in essence, it's where you take biology and you create a device out of it. Biorobots. That's what it sounds like. It's pretty well known of. I can show you some amazing movies. There's several good zombie-related horror flicks that I think that you may, having watched this thing, these Reaver things that you see on this Firefly, that you might find entertaining.
Yeah, we're gonna switch genres, and I'm gonna tell him about Duchess Ariana.
Okay. Are you going to tell him that it's real, or are you going to describe it like it's a movie?
I'm gonna describe it like it's a movie, and then I'm gonna theoretically be like, so like, what would happen if that happened in real life?
If what happened in real life? If a religious entity decided to start forcing people to become cybernetics or cyborgs?
Yeah, and then like, people weren't really people anymore. I don't know how to say that without sounding awful, but K62, you are my buddy now, so you know what I'm talking about.
I imagine the government would make some effort to stop that from happening, as it would have a negative impact on law and order and the relative systems. However, various machine cults have come up over the years. It is not unheard of. Usually ends badly.
Do you have a bucket list, K62?
What is a bucket list?
It's kind of like a mortal thing, but we choose really cool activities that we would like to do or achieve before we die, or kick the bucket is the saying. So anyway, that's a bucket list. Something like on Taylor's bucket list. Sorry, I point to myself with my thumbs. I want to fly the helicopter with my brother again. Like olden times.
Okay. I don't have such a thing, as I won't die per se. I will probably cease to function, most likely through ill repair or combat at some point. But don't really give it much processor cycles, as it is not a item worth dwelling on. Would you like me to load the helicopter into the launch so that you may take a flight? You can probably fly the helicopter for approximately 2.5 hours before the effects of Sturgeon's Law will become noticeable on it.
Yeah, I don't want the mold to get on it and like possibly ruin it. Maybe even we like have to land and then we're fucked. I don't even want to. Nah, but thanks, K62. I appreciate it.
That is probably a wise course of action, as the glass sparrow item that you have is rather delicate. I think I saw a bicycle chain holding part of it together.
It's unique in that way, yes.
Junkrat is like, dude, did you see what they did to that ship in that Firefly thing? Do you think that the captain would let me put a big old spike out the front of the ship?
We could talk to him about that. I like how they mounted like the machine gun to the outside. That was pretty neat.
Oh, that's actually kind of a standard configuration. It's almost certain that those bounty hunters / pirates that came at us earlier had their weapon systems mounted in a very similar way, as those ships were not designed to be combat craft.
Oh, so they had dudes on, in vac suits just firing those things?
That's possibly one of the way they were doing it, although the missile launcher was more likely that they had welded a missile rack to the outside of the ship and that they had rigged it to something inside the cockpit where a gunner was just tapping on a tablet to fire them. It is unlikely it was an integrated system.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But the harpoon that shot into us does bear a striking resemblance to some of the Reaver tactics, and almost certainly was run by a person in a vac suit firing it, since if they intended to board us, they would have had to open up their cargo hold to do so.
It's good thoughts. Yeah. I like this show. It's nice.
You guys have lovely conversations.
Yep.
I think that we're ready for the fleet to be done because it looks like Thodubs is all sorted. Did I miss anybody that wanted to do anything while we were here in Sturgeon's Law? Did you want to try to sell any of your cargo here? Or are you taking it all the way to the end?
No, when I did the cargo, I rolled it for the jump after this.
Okay, so you rolled it as just a straight move cargo contract, not any specific type of commodity.
Correct.
Okay. Just so you know, Sturgeon's Law is a place that has 0 consumer goods. Okay. Alrighty, so looks like you guys are ready to do one more jump, and then we're going to be in Elise, which is the destination of the convoy. Oh, we're going to have to do 2 more jumps. You got to go to 1624,
Ooh.
then 1525.
2 more jumps, yep.
Yeah. Is everyone ready?
Always ready.
Well, now that our astrogator's back, you can start giving the orders to prep for the jump.
Astrogator. Astrogate.
Yes, Captain.
You make your rolls while I make my rolls. Ooh.
Don't forget there's one more leadership.
Got a 10 on astrogation.
Keep going. You guys know how to do this now, right?
Yep.
I'm trying to do all the rolls for what happens as soon as you jump, so I'm not really paying attention to you guys doing the process of jumping.
You got a 10 on astrogation?
So I got a 10. That's effective 2, right? Rolled on the next person.
It's an effective 6 rolled
It's
on
an
the
effective
next
6.
person.
Yep.
Oh, is it 6? Sorry, I was going off of 8.
Nope. It's an easy check. Alright. Gonna do the jump thing. Yeah. With an
Yeah.
effective 6, it will be very difficult to fail this.
Yeah, I rolled an 11 J drive with a +6. That's going to be 17.
Okay, it's a very good
Yeah.
jump. The fleet jumps. Okay. 10 seconds into the jump. Holmes, Luca, Aiden, let's say Ray has gotten over his stomach bug at this point. You're all on the bridge, and you look out the front window, and a very unusual thing. So normally, when you jump, there's just white space. And the shutters close to keep you from going mad from just looking at this blank space outside. Now there's like an aurora borealis effect that's surrounding the ship. It seems to be hovering 10, 15 feet off the hull of the ship in every direction. And it is an unusual jump thing that you have not witnessed before.
Can we contact the rest of the fleet?
No, that's not how jump space works. You're in your own personal pocket dimension.
Yes!
Ray, you ever seen anything like this?
Hell no. It's probably not good, though.
Sensors. Do the sensor thing. Not that I know what we're looking for, but
I don't think that he knows that he's sensors.
Aiden.
Yeah.
Request sensors on the weird. Well, everything, because it's just hovering around us.
The weird
All
everything.
the weird lights. Is there anything abnormal on sensors?
All right, just checking for abnormalities then.
Yes.
We have a 9 on our sensors roll.
Okay. So you have radar and lidar, and both come back completely blank because you're in jump space.
Completely negative, Captain. We're in jump space. Nothing's coming up.
Engineering. Do we have anything going on down in engineering? Like report status of engineering. Anything abnormal?
Let me do a check,
have-
and I will let you know. It's that ooh, 8 total.
Okay. The engine's running just a touch hot. It's so the power plant's just maintaining the jump bubble. But it's running at about 103% heat. Now, normally that's not anything to worry about, and if there hadn't been this weird effect going on, you probably wouldn't even pay that variable any mind unless it got up to like 120. That's the only thing out of the ordinary that you find.
Junkrat, do you have any idea what the weird aurora looking lights that could be?
Nope, never seen anything like it. It's really weird, although it doesn't seem to be negatively affecting the ship. As long as we don't start losing power, I don't think it'll be a problem.
All right, well, let's us take keep an eye on it.
Of course.
Can I roll a science roll?
Absolutely. If you have a rank in science, then you can take it without a negative, but if you don't,
I have a 0 in science.
well, then you're good to go.
Oh, but I rolled a 3. Nope.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Annika if she's seen anything like this before.
That's a negative, Ghost Rider. Annika is going to say, it is interesting, though. My abilities seem to be reflected and almost enhanced inside of this jump bubble. I can feel your thoughts from across the ship. It's disconcerting. Anyone else want to try anything?
I'm gonna go talk to the ship's cat.
You're going to go talk to the ship's cat. Okay.
Say, hey, little buddy. You doing something special?
It's going to meow at you.
Scratch him under his chin. Are we okay in this special, like, weird space?
It's going to start purring because you're scratching it under its chin.
Then I'm gonna give him a blink and let's see if I can put my forehead on his forehead. See if he feels any fear.
You feel very comforted when you do this. As a matter of fact, because of the enhancement effects, you feel almost euphoric. Like his purring becomes like a chant, and you lose like an hour to this just feeling of him purring.
I'm gonna report back. Everything's all right. Kitty cat says so.
I'm going to ask everybody on the ship if they're all right, and if is everybody feeling all right?
Everybody seems to be feeling fine. Homer is busied himself since Gigi has been talking to you and doing stuff, and he can't shoot at anything. He went down to the cargo bay and started just like inventorying stuff for boredom's sake. And he's going to come up and be like super excited to be like, guys. Specifically, he's going to be talking to Luca, since Luca's the, broker type guy. Be like, there's more crates down there than you think there are. I'm not sure how that happened, but there's like 10% more of the stuff that you bought than your manifest says.
No, like, that was what?
Yep. So you have a 10% surplus. Your cargo is worth 10% more than you thought.
Where did it come from? Can we go look at it?
You just miscounted, but yes, you can.
And the cat's telling me everything's fine. Guys, everything is fine. Don't worry about it.
You're like, I'm making money. This cat's purring is awesome. Have you guys heard this cat purr? All right, so these conditions are going to persist for the entire week. So if anyone wants to try anything with it or do anything with it, just let me know. Every one of you during the week at some point or another is going to have a strange dream where you're pretty sure Annika is experimenting with, basically while you're dreaming, she's entering your dreams. She's not malicious or anything about it, but there'll be like a moment where you're dreaming and you look at Annika and you can tell because her eyes are glowing purple that like her consciousness is there, and you like suddenly like a waking dream become aware that you are dreaming and that she is in your mind, and then it just slips away.
Well, we ride roller coasters together.
It's whatever you were dreaming. She just happens to be there during the dream. She seems very preoccupied with the psionic effect that this strange phenomena has created. So, Ronan, what are you going to do during this week?
Aside from watch the strange thing and make sure that everybody in the crew is, nothing's changing. Everybody's okay.
Mm-hmm. Aside from those things.
Homer and I are going to learn about miniguns.
Ooh, we love some miniguns. Kizik, what are you going to do other than revel in the fact that you now can be almost addicted to a cat purr and you're 10% richer?
I mean, the cat and I are going to go talk to Raymond. We're going to continue to bond. We might even I'm going to try to in my extra glee, petting the cat and hearing it purr. I'm going to see if I can pet Raymond and make him purr.
That is not going to go over very well, but let's go ahead and have you roll. So go ahead and roll I'm going to call that a persuade.
Yeah, you're a good boy.
Let's call that a persuade. You need a 12.
Ooh, what's a 6 plus 1 and it's a 7.
Yeah.
So 1 in persuade is an 8.
So Raymond's going to complain to the captain that Luca may be a little off his rocker and may be negatively affected by the strange phenomena going on, and perhaps should spend some time off.
Come on, Ray. I thought we were buddies.
Yep, that's why you're not punched in the face.
What are you doing, Luca?
I mean, the kitty cat loves it when you rub it right there, and it makes this really cool sound that makes you feel real happy. And Ray and I were talking about old stories, and I got curious as to what Ray's neck felt like underneath of that beard.
Yep. That's a little weird. Are you feeling alright?
Told you the kitty cat's making me happy.
Do you and the kitty cat need, like, you and kitty cat alone time?
No.
He says as he's holding the kitty cat.
My kitty. Do you want to pet him?
I'll pet the kitty cat.
Feels fantastic.
I'm not touching heads with the kitty cat or anything like that. I'm just going to pet the kitty cat on top of its head.
Still feels fantastic. You're just not getting the full effect.
Like, yep. Petting the kitty cat. Ray, not a kitty cat. Leave him alone.
Ray's like, I can do this, Captain. If he needs a break, like I can. We're in jump space, so I just gotta watch the dials.
Yeah. Luca, go take kitty cat to go on a walk.
So Luke is gonna learn about brokering from the kitty cat. And then we're going to go on to Ghost. What's Taylor doing?
It's another week. I can train with K62, but really I'm going to hang out. I'm going to make sure that Annika's good. I'm going to talk to her, maybe help her through anything she's going through.
What's Taylor's biggest anxiety right now?
That we're gonna get to where we're going, and it's just gonna be Newburn agents, in ambush waiting for us, and we're just gonna die. I foresee, like, some crazy, I don't know, scheme that, we're just not gonna be able to get through. That's my anxiety right now.
So, as soon as you start talking to Annika about how she's going to do, she's going to immediately start talking to you about that and she's going to say very comforting things. That just, she's going to be like, it's, even if we encounter them, we've proven that, you know, these agents are nothing we cannot handle and that we're going to be okay. And, her words are smooth like honey. Like, you just feel better after having talked to her. You completely forget that you were there to comfort her and make sure that she was okay.
Thanks, Annika. I appreciate that.
She's her eyes have changed color. So normally only when she's using her powers do they appear purple. They glow slightly in a purple glow when she's using her powers, but right now they aren't glowing, but their iris color has changed to a deep purple. And it seems to be permanent right now. You don't know when you jump out of the strange Aurora Borealis if it's going to stay that way. But that's the way it is right now.
All right. Just making sure she's good. If she's good, we're gonna keep going.
Yep. So I'd also like to know if you would like to increase K62's melee ability. So he can't learn the same way you can, but he can be upgraded and taught different things. And he has another slot available, so he could go from a melee 0 to a melee 1 if that's what you wanted to do. And you are spending a lot of time doing that, so he might suggest upgrading his programming.
If that's okay with the captain.
I'm okay with Ninja Bot.
Yeah. So melee 2 it is. He suddenly becomes a lot harder to defeat. So.
Okay.
You may want to fashion yourself some proper training weapons. Would be
Yes.
his suggestion as he like points to his arm.
Need a Bokins.
Exactly. All right, Dubs. What has Aiden spent this trip doing? This strange Aurora Borealis has got all sorts of weird behavior going on the ship. Also, when you can get time with the cat, when Kizik isn't hogging it, your cat is very, very affectionate.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about the whole Kizik and the cat thing. I don't know. I might just stay away from that, at least for the time being. If they separate, then I'll probably try and get some time with the cat. But, yep, I am going to I do want to continue doing the astrogation stuff, but I do want to keep goofing around with my sensors to see if anything weird still kind of comes up. Like if I, look at different types of sensor sweeps or something like that on this Aurora thing, I want to see if anything pops up.
Okay, so your main other type of sensor is just a telescope for visually looking at it. But if you want to do some sort of check, you can do either sensors or science to examine it. I'd be completely okay with that.
Sensors or science? I don't know if I have anything in science. Let's see here.
You probably don't because most people don't. I was really surprised that Ghost had it.
I didn't even know there was something called science. Okay, yeah. So I don't. Yeah. So I won't do that.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
Is there?
No. Okay. So you don't want to make a sensor roll?
Yeah, well, let's do a regular sensor roll.
Okay.
See if anything weird comes up. Not that anything will, but hey, we're gonna give it a check. Got an 11 on my sensor roll.
Okay. You're not psionically sensitive.
No.
After hours of skimming through it, like you're practicing your astrogation while idly moving the camera. Like we've got a secondary monitor up where you just got it set on a search pattern where it's scanning grid by grid. And the camera stops unexpectedly. Like it's supposed to keep panning and it stops. And when you look at it, it's almost like there's a set of eyes and a face looking at you. And as soon as you focus in on it, it disappears. And you get the strangest feeling that what you're passing through may be some sort of psionic entity. Maybe it just exists in this pocket of space that you happen to have blurped into.
Whoa, that was pretty freaky.
But as soon as the thought is there, it's gone almost immediately. And you may advance your astrogation by another week.
Copy
So, that's everybody, right? The answer is yes, I believe.
Yeah, that should be everybody, I think.
Okay.
Yep.
The convoy is going to drop out of jump space at Elise, and the Aurora Borealis is going to dissipate. As you guys jump out of jump space, only this weird mist that slowly dissipates from around the ship that was of the same color is the only sign that it was ever there. And we'll be picking up the rest of this in 2 weeks when we come back.
Did we go all the way to Elise, or did we stop in 1624?
You were supposed to stop in 1624. That is correct. Future self, remember that we stopped in 1624 and that we have to do a jump to Elise.
Aye.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that block is there. Yeah, so you guys would jump, you would make a pit stop in 1624, which means you're going to get another bit of jump space adventure going on.
Woohoo!
Anyway, how did everyone like the session? More road trip.
Road trip.
It was good.
Yeah.
We blew up bad guys.
You did. You got your space combat you were asking for. How did you feel about that space combat? We did a lot of looking up in the book.
I think it went pretty well.
I mean, you fought the smallest ships I could throw at you that could possibly jump to the space you were at. But they had interesting modifications, and you almost had to repel borders, which was something I was planning on doing, but you guys actually did everything in such a way that they never actually got to board.
Thank God, we would have died.
There were 4 of them in heavy combat armor, so it definitely would have been a challenge, but honestly, with the crew you have, the biggest problem wouldn't have been the boarders. It would have been how they would have boarded. So the thing that I kept trying to get you to perceive with your perception checks was that they had a boarding airlock. They don't have to hook to your airlock. They latch to your hull and then use these hot plasma cutters to cut a hole straight through your hull. To make that matter worse, when I rolled their attack, they latched on to the mid-deck fuel tank in 23, which means if they tried to burn through with the plasma cutter...
Big boom.
Big boom.
Sounds like they would kill them. Like, that's what I'm hearing here.
Well,
That would have been really bad.
and get us.
They would have killed everybody. I mean, if that thing goes off, it cuts the ship in half. Like,
Oh, yeah.
so...
That one was empty.
The middle, or the front one was empty.
So there's no
'Cause
fumes
at that point we
or
had jumped
anything in it.
I mean,
That
if
one
it makes
was
us stay alive.
barely
Yeah.
empty. Because we were still on our cooldown from the jump out of space.
I would have taken that because I'll be honest with you, one of the reasons I made it so easy for you to not make them board was because I didn't know how to handle them cutting through into that fuel tank. Yeah. Anyway, you guys did fantastic. I hope everybody had a good time.
Yep, good game.
These-
Thank you, everybody.
These are very
Absolutely.
ad hoc episodes. And obviously we're just making these road trip ones up as we go. But you guys are actually making pretty good progress. You've got a couple of worlds you can explore between here and your goal, or you can fully restock your fuel and just jump through dead space. If you want to. It's up to you how you decide to move forward.
I mean, eventually we have to get to Joyous or whatever, and we have to get to Verzinslust or whatever it is over here. We get
Herzin's Lust.
Yeah, that one.
Yep. Herzin's Lust. That's how Kizik described it. That's how I remember it, and that's how we're gonna say it. Most of the ways I say these planets is probably wrong, but you know, it's all good because we're having a good time.
And that's what matters.
Mm-hmm.
We made it to the second page of planets. Yay!
You absolutely did. You're gonna get all the way up to this top corner, and then they're gonna send you all the way back.
Oh yeah, lots of training's gonna happen. Homer and I are gonna learn a lot about guns.
Okay. Well, thank you for playing, guys, and thanks everybody on the stream for stopping by.